still adding people to this PS4 review. So give me a minute to get them. Hello, two viewers. How are you? Hello, three viewers. So, sorry I started this late. I was trying to beat the game. I'm actually on the last level, which is interesting. Spoilers. There's going to be spoilers in this podcast, so get ready. Hopefully, I don't get spoiled about the ending. But
what up, Douglas?
Hey, what's up? Oh,
I can't hear you at the moment.
Hold on, let me change you.
Filter off.
You're coming through my speakers. Let me put you on. Okay, there you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had all my speakers. Hello, 7 viewers.
Put an earbud in so I can hear you.
Say hi to the 7 viewers. 7 of them are watching us.
Oh, we're live. We're doing it live. We're Bill O'Reilly.
We're doing it live right now.
We're doing. All right.
Oh. Ashley wants me to invite her on Hangouts. Okay.
Okay, so we're having both her and Jack on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was working on their little wedding announcement on the front page.
Oh, good.
I haven't finished it yet, though. All right. I'm trying to put this little screen on so I don't have as much pops in my P's.
Oh, windsock? Or
yeah.
Pea popper?
Pea popper, yep.
Okay, so I need to invite Neil. And Neil's going to be on, right?
Yeah, Neil. And Hobby's actually playing the game right now. So
was I, dude. So, guess where I am?
Where are you?
I'm fighting Doc Ock right at the end. It's like 8:47. I'm like, ah! So I think I've got like 2 more stages to beat him. But
no, if you're fighting, are you fighting Otto on the side of the building?
I'm on the roof, and he's throwing.
Okay.
Here, spoilers. Hey, Neil.
Hello. This is my new apartment.
Oh.
Over here we have blank wall.
I love what you've done with the. I love what you've done with the place, man.
Oh man, I feel I look so naked.
There was supposed to be an poster for Infinity War up there, but I haven't had time to put a purple Homer Simpson up there.
Yeah,
let me see this. Here, tilt your camera down. I can barely see you. There you go. Oh, you got more stubble than I do.
Well,
okay, YouTubers, I can't see what you're typing, so let me go to the page and get into your comments. Hold on a second.
Would they call Riker in Next Gen Ensign Babyface?
Did you sit in that chair like you launched over it and sat in it like Riker used to do?
It's a bendy chair.
Oh, it's a bendy.
Yeah. Okay,
there we go. We got Brian. What's up? You sound tired, Brad. No, I'm not. Well, I have been playing a lot of PS4 Spidey. The Devil Breaker just got on YouTube, told me this is going on. I kind of forgot, actually. Devil Breaker, no. Do ET. No, I'm good. Vinkman, you're battling a cold. I feel my allergies are battling me, too. Maybe that's what's getting from it. It's hanging good, Matt. He goes, how's it hanging?
I'm gonna have to abandon this thing because it's wanting to stay on my.
And also, it's like covering half your face, so
Yeah. All right.
Well, which might be an improvement depending on.
All right. Let me get Ashley and Jack in here. I got an email for them to invite. There they are. Boom.
It'll be your secret identity, Mr. Pop Mask.
Yep.
Okay, Javi did not reply. Oh, he just saw it.
He just. 'Cause wanted to
actually
get more
should
of my...
click on it. Okay, I've got Neil.
All right.
Who else am I missing? I got Ashley and Jack.
Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, that's who I'm missing. Where is Chi-Town? Peter.
Did Wendy allow the purchase of the life-size Spider-Man?
There,
for the Spider Cave?
You saw that picture, huh? There was not a price tag on that giant Spider-Man mannequin that I put up on the Crawlspace Facebook page. But that was pretty cool. For years, that store is called Vintage Stock. That's out in our mall. And for years, they had like a Raimi Spider-Man 2 costume, but the black on the webs was coming off. So like it was like discounted. It was life size but discounted. I never did buy that.
So it was like an actual prop from the movie, or was it?
No, I think some company actually makes these like giant size, life size Spider-Man, where you can buy them.
There was when I went to San Diego in 2011, a guy got one of those signed by Stan Lee.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like hauling it around on a dolly.
Is that like that one guy who made like a
full? The thing was so free.
Oh my gosh!
Isn't there that one guy who made like a replica of the Iron Man armor from the first movie and then like lugged it to San Diego with him?
Who knows? I wouldn't want to carry that around.
Of course.
I wouldn't try wearing it. Also, since we're talking about PS4 Spider-Man, time to start company wars.
Oh, you got an Xbox and a PS4?
No, I borrowed my friend's PS4 to play the game.
Oh, I got you.
It's because PS4 is better. Sorry, Microsoft had one shot. They had one opportunity to win me over, and they effed that up, and I've never forgot.
With what?
When they did their launch at E3 for the Xbox One, like everything that they taught, and a lot of that didn't end up not coming into fruition because Microsoft had to backtrack, but they were trying to make it to do things like where if you borrowed a video game from a buddy, you could only borrow it once before they locked you off.
Oh yeah, that was a dumb.
Things like that. So everybody that was like GameStop was like crapping their pants because like a good third of their market is just resale of used games, and they were making it to where you always had to have it on and always connected to the internet. That was what they were wanting to do.
Xbox?
Like all this stuff, yeah. All this and it had to come with the Kinect.
I've never had an Xbox. Oh, there's Avi. What's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Hey,
Avi.
You're playing PS4 Spider-Man.
Yes.
You know I know
because you can hear it in the background.
I could. The roommate logged in and he saw you were still on. So everybody that was playing on his PS4.
I never do the. I barely get through the story mode of any of my games, so I don't do any online play. Javi, are we friends on Facebook on PlayStation?
I don't think we are.
Okay, we should be friends.
Yes, we should be friends.
Neil, we should be friends on
one day when I can afford a PS4 off of eBay. Sure.
eBay. Occasionally, I look at what Zach's played and what he's beat. Like, you do a lot of, like, sports games, Zach, so I don't...
Yeah, I'm a sports game guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Here's the thing. I created a PSN account when my uncle got his PS4. I got the Xbox. The Xbox is a birthday gift. I haven't had time to upgrade it yet. So...
Hey, Chi-Town, what's up?
What's up, Pete?
I've been meaning to get a PS4, but I haven't... But one, I can't afford it because I don't have a job right now, and I'm in college.
Yeah.
So, and two, my friend has a PS4, so he just kind of lets me use it if I want to play a game that's an exclusive. And since the PS4 has a lot better exclusives than the Xbox, that tends to be a lot more often.
Hornacek, yes, the reason I started the podcast is because I wanted more friends. That's pretty funny. These are my spider brothers in arms right here. Where is Cowboy George, says MM09. He is not playing this game. However... you can play the game without that white suited spider,
right?
If you want it,
dude. I don't know if I dislike Slott as much as George does, but I dislike him and his writing a whole bunch. As much as you guys have praised the Spidey Torch Mini, after Brand New Day started, I couldn't even. I can't even go check it out at the library for free. Like, that's how much I don't like it. But I can get over it, even with Slott characters in this game, and enjoy the hell out of this game.
Yeah,
it's so awesome.
I will tell you. I will tell you. We'll get into spoilers later, but when we officially start, get everybody there. But no, I mean, Brad. First of all, Dante, I'm king. I'll take it. But second of all, Berryman's been against this game on principle, and sometimes he's inflexible when it comes to those type of things.
That's because he's
old.
It's because he's what?
He's old. He's not old, but he's old.
Oh man, he's gonna suddenly appear in this podcast too, like the last 2 episodes.
I'm trying to goad him out. Of
him coming in at the last minute.
Yeah. So Brad, when you text him to get him to appear, don't let everybody else know like you did last time.
Matt Bird on the YouTube chat wants to know if I have an Incredible Hulk tumbler glass. It is ironic you should say so. I have it right here, filled with Mountain Dew. I think that's a Sal Hulk, maybe. I could be wrong. Marie 7. I don't know.
Okay, Brad, I'm not gonna lie. You on my end, you cut out and then you just magically reappeared with the glass, and I was like, "Holy crap, Brad's magic!"
Oh, Ashley's joining.
Hey, what's up?
Finally.
Happily married
couple. What's up? Congratulations.
That's
what we are.
Hold it. Oh,
there's
Mr. and Mrs. Cups. Oh.
And we're eating our wedding cake.
Oh. Is it right in front of you? Let me see what the cake looks like. I'll hold it up a little bit.
Yes.
Ooh, look at all that frosting.
Mini bites taken out of it.
Nom, 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 nom.
And apricot filling.
Ooh, I like apricots.
So you didn't send us any cake. Like, what the heck, Ashley?
I ate a piece for y'all.
This is Zach. Oh, okay. Hey, Ashley, mail me a piece of cake halfway across the country. I'll send you an IOU.
Ashley and Jack Vinkman says congratulations. Huzzah! The Devil Breaker says congrats on the wedding. The Devil Breaker goes, Ashley, smiley face. George can't be here, says Hornacek, because he's doing a Smokey and the Bandit marathon in memory of or Burt Reynolds.
There's like a national month of mourning for George.
I will admit I did watch Smokey and the Bandit.
I love Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, I do too. All right, the gang's all here. By the way, Ashley and Jack, I've never seen your living room before, and I think I see Romita Amazing 50 on the wall back there. Or am I seeing things? Spider-Man walking back.
No.
Oh, and there it is.
You're a Godzilla fan?
Oh yeah.
Godzilla!
Big Godzilla. Oh, nice. Very nice. And I think I see Amazing 151 also on your wall framed. I think that's the number, isn't it? Where he's got the water going around him.
Yep.
151. Look at me spot the art around your pad. I love it.
So they just opened a Hobby Lobby. They just opened up a Hobby Lobby.
Oh yeah, the Hobby. Did you get those from Hobby Lobby?
Target.
Now I'm just realizing how blank my wall is in comparison. Hang on, let me see if I can't.
Oh yeah, Neil.
Here,
for those that came in late, Neil just moved into his apartment, and look, there is nothing on the walls.
It's all blank.
Here, we can use this. This is a decoration.
Oh yeah, get some
sheet of paper.
Get some Scotch tape and nail.
I'll staple it to the wall.
There's more things to the wall.
So Chi-Town.
Wait a minute. What's Ashley holding up? You got the PS4 Pro?
Yeah. Did the Spider-Man one.
Oh
wow.
That's Lynn's gift to me.
Fancy
that's the wedding gift.
You got that as a wedding gift?
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
Who gets you that as a wedding gift?
His brother.
Your brother's awesome.
Man, your bro's awesome.
I wish my brother could.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It's nice.
So
I
pretty.
feel you all the PS4, but it's plugged in and delicate and expensive.
It's currently shooting Spider-Man as well it should.
Okay, so I don't know if we're
Alright.
gonna talk about this. I don't know if we're gonna talk about this later, but like, who here has like a regular PS4, and how does it hold up to like the PS4 Pro version?
I watched a
I don't
know
YouTube
about
video
the
that
PS4
compared
Pro.
the footage, and I didn't see all that much of a difference. I don't think if you have
The biggest-
if you don't
I
have
will talk
like a 4K TV, I don't think it's really going to matter.
It's not.
Right.
And I've got no
we'll talk
complaints
about
for
that.
my PS4.
Yeah, you might be okay to make full use
Without
of
the
the
4K
visuals.
TV, like you said, the difference between the Pro and the regular is nil.
Is there a size difference? Is the Pro
I
a
think-
slimmer version, right?
I think it.
Pro,
From what? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, 4K is what 2480, I think, and 1080 is high def is 1080. So it's just stretching. There's more pixels, etc.
It's like 920 by.
It's 4
1080.
times the amount of.
Javi, are you going on a Black Cat mission? What is
Yeah.
that?
All right.
He decided
Before we
to
get
come over here and
started,
talk.
Brad, I got
What?
a request.
Yes, sir.
For those that are watching us that don't want to be spoiled, I think we should give our grades
Yeah.
first, and then not go into spoilers, and then let people, jump off whenever they
Okay.
when we want to go into spoilers.
Let
what
me
I
do a
mean?
poll of the members on the panel right now. Who's finished the game?
Like
I've
story
got
mode?
the only thing I've not done, Brad, is get all the suits. But
I meant story
I'm
mode.
100%
The story mode.
I'm done.
Peter's done. Javi, you done?
I've just got to Oscorp. I have no idea where I'm at in the story mode. 57% is where I'm at. Right
Okay.
now.
Neil, where are you?
I kind of cheated because through
Whoa.
a combination of playing the actual game and seeing clips from YouTube, because I don't care about being spoiled as much. I have seen everything. I've seen it.
Okay.
Done it.
Jack and Ashley, where are you in the game?
He's beat it.
You beat it?
About two-thirds of the way through. Okay.
The 66 right there.
Jack says I'm 2/3 of the way through the story.
What mission are you on right now, Ashley?
Just finish the Halloween stuff.
I finished the Halloween stuff.
Oh,
I'm
so you just got to the Halloween party.
I just finished the Halloween party.
I'm just
Okay, got it.
barely ahead of you then, Ashley. I'm a mission or two ahead of you then.
Okay. I will tell you where I am in the game when we start the show. It's kind of funny what happened. Okay, we'll do spoilers. I mean, we'll do grades, and then it's open season.
Got him.
Brad, don't tell him.
I am not done with the game, but I'm. Okay,
You're
I'll
so
tell you.
damn close in any.
I am like,
It ain't
I don't
funny,
think
but
there's
anyway.
much more that I don't know because I've been spoiled a little bit what happens after credit. But okay, we ready? Everybody ready?
Jack,
10-4,
you
comrade.
were going to say something? You were going to ask me something. Are you?
Me?
Zach?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Said
Yeah, I was
Showtime.
gonna tell you that I was gonna buy you a Cubs hat, but because I saw your calendar in the background, I was just giving you a
Oh, actually.
Let me underline that for you. Here, I'm just underline.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
Oh, and we're
Wait
bringing
a minute.
soda into this.
I'm confused. Chi-Town is from Chicago, and you don't like the Cubs?
He likes the White Sox. He's a White Sox fan.
Yeah.
So he,
Oh, there's
he-
two
he-
baseball teams
There's
in
two
Chicago. I'm
baseball
so
teams.
sorry.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one
And this
baseball.
from the award-winning sports guy.
You
What's
betcha.
your comment? Wait.
I know there's two sports baseball teams in Missouri. There's the Cardinals and the Royals. So
You can take the Cubs and you can just go to Missouri with them.
In breaking news, high school teacher buys the Cubs and moves into Missouri.
there you go. I'm making the bank on that. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go start. I'll introduce everybody. Coming down in 3, 2. Hey, Crawl Spacers, welcome to our PS4 Spider-Man review. We've got a bunch of gamers on the line. Zach, you've been my buddy since PS3. Welcome.
PS2, sir. PS2.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we
days.
were friended on PS2, but we're old school.
No, we
PlayStation.
weren't. We weren't. we weren't, but we've known each other since the PS2 game days. But it's been a long time. I think we've played Spider-Man 3, both the Amazing Spider-Man games, Edge of Time, Web of Shadows,
and
Shattered Dimensions.
Scarlet Dimensions. I'm thinking of clones. Shattered Dimensions. Yes.
Yeah.
But we've played a lot of Spider-Man games in that time. So anyway, welcome. We've also got Neil. What's going on, Neil?
Hello. I am here to be the local company wars instigator.
Oh, he's holding up an Xbox controller. No,
because I don't have a PS4, my friend let me borrow his, and I know everything about this game. Not everything, but close enough that I can tell my thoughts on this game. More than George. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh!
Man.
Replace one text with another.
George is like the Norman Osborn of this podcast. Even when he's not here, we talk about him. I mean, my goodness. Welcome, Javi. What's going on, Javi?
Hey, how's it going, Brad?
Hey, you went to a comic book convention today. If your Facebook is telling the truth, and it usually is.
I did, yeah. I took a couple pictures of some Spidey cosplayers, but there was no Insomniac cosplayers there. I was surprised.
You took a picture with Zachary Levi too, Shazam, right?
Yes. Apparently he lives here now, so that was cool.
That's awesome. And in Austin, Texas, he does?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Did you buy any Spider collectibles?
I did not.
Okay.
No, just got a picture with Shazam. That was the extent of it.
There you go. And we got Chi-Town. Peter, what's up, sir?
Hey, guys. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Anything new going on with you? Any Spider collectibles you've bought recently?
No, just the PS4 game and, being a dad, and, husband, taking care of my responsibilities because with great power does come great responsibilities. I probably beat the game around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Just recently?
No, that's when I actually beat the game. And I got to get up in a couple of hours. Just to go to work.
This thing is so addicting. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And last, but is she even in the frame? There she is. Okay. And last but not least, we have the newlyweds, Jack and Ashley. Congratulations. Woo! Here, let's see the rings. Hold up the rings. Let's see the rings. Look at that bling. Face it, Tiger. You're hitched.
With the rings,
your wedding announcement on the front page is coming. You two. I am so sorry I did not get that done this week, but it'll be done tonight. Actually.
And Jack and Ashley
not getting your cake, Zach.
Jack and Ashley got a very nice wedding gift. Tell the people what you got as a wedding gift.
Jack's groomsmen went and got us the Spider-Man limited edition PlayStation 4 Pro. So we full set, the red PS4 with the white spider logo. It's got a themed controller, and it came with the game, a physical copy of the game, not a digital download. And then like a season pass to all the DLC.
Ooh, the Black Cat stuff, of course. That's
the only one that matters.
Yes, that's a gift for both of you if it has a Black Cat DLC.
Oh yeah.
True story.
Well, I'm happy for you two. Congratulations. And Jack, welcome to the show. I know you've kind of popped in and out, but you're officially on it right now.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, so warning to anybody listening, we're going to talk spoilers of this game. But first, we're going to reveal that the Hulk came in at the end and just destroyed the whole
thing. he shattered reality.
Destroy city.
Hulk smash, Mr. Negative. I'm Mr.
Positive. The Hulk came in and then broke the reality between this one and the MCU, so now this one takes over Tom Holland's job.
And then Peter Porker came in, and we had ham sandwiches. It was great.
Guys, am I going to spoil it right now? Just kill Venom at the end.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, and you know what? The twist at the end where Sony canceled the Venom movie coming out in 2 weeks, I love that part. That was great. And then they canceled all those other movies. No. What we're going to do is we're going to go around the horn and going to give our grades, and we'll give pro and con, and I've got a couple other things I want us to talk about. But after we give our grades, I guess you could pause this podcast and / YouTube video until after you finish the game and see what we thought of it. But let's go around the horn and get grades off the top. So I'll do it in the order of introduction. So, Zach, what was your grade for... Hold on a second. This game right here.
Ah, the glare.
The glare. I'm sorry. Is it my head or is it the box?
So much
The box.
Come on.
Hey, I'm not too far away from you, Douglas, so it's okay.
I'm glad. Hold up. I'm glad I held up this box and not this box because that's two different. That's before and after right there.
Oh.
I've brought the props for those audio listeners. I'm holding up an Atari 2600 box, and this is a PS4 box. Here, let's look at the back covers. By the way, this is how different games have. Okay, go ahead, Zach. You're great, sir.
All right, so, it's an A+.
Oof.
It's an A+.
A+.
Going to be very high praise from me. So
okay. All right, Neil, what's your grade?
Okay, so everyone here is going to pump me full of bullet holes at the end of this, but the
just hit the square or the circle, you'll dodge it.
Don't make me choose.
Yeah.
Story-wise, story-wise is a B+. Gameplay is a high C. We'll talk about that later.
Ooh, gameplay is a high C. Like the drink?
God, no. I don't want Orange Volcano.
Orange Volcano high C? Oh my gosh.
Dude, the only high C was punch.
What about Ecto Cooler High C? The Ghostbusters, God. Remember that?
Yes.
That's like diabetes in a can.
Oh yeah, it is. God, pardon me while I have a little.
Diabetes.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry. That is not Ecto Cooler. That is straight up Mountain Dew, baby. That's yeah. All right.
But no, I will defend.
Brad Douglas is going to be the new spokesperson for the diabetes commercial.
I will back up my grade later on in the video.
All right. Javi, what is your grade? Well, so far we have an A-, an A+, a high C, and Javi, what do you have?
If there's something higher than an A+, that's what I would give it. I'm so in love with this game right now.
Damn.
I've been playing a lot of Spidey in the lead up to this game. My best friend got me the PS1 game again, so I've played a little bit of that, which is a lot harder than I remember.
Ooh, the PS1 game. I remember that.
And I just beat, the week leading up to the release, I beat The Amazing Spider-Man on PS3, which is a really fun game.
Really
other than the fact that going into the new game messed me up because the button controls are a little different. I'm trying to do like web focus and spider sense, and it's a totally different thing. But this game is everything that I was hoping it was going to be so far. And I'm loving where I'm at with it.
A+, high C, A++++ out of Javi. And Chi-Town, what do you got, sir? What's your grade?
An A-.
Ooh, an A-.
What's this? Another heretic? Welcome,
I suspect Chi-Town wanted to play a little more with Mary Jane. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie there.
Oh no! George is in the comment section.
George is in the comments.
George
says, "What the hell is all this jackassery?" Oh. George, what would your grade be? No, I'm just kidding.
Now you just open a can of worms.
Let's hear from the newlyweds. What are you holding up to the screen? I can barely see it.
I'm trying to show George the white spider.
Oh.
Here we go.
He has some psychological warfare.
Oh my goodness, that is torture for the man. Ashley, what would your grade be? We're going to do individuals instead of couples.
I'm still only about 2/3 of the way through the story, but A+ all around.
All right, Jack, what about you, buddy?
A+ masterpiece.
Whoa, we got a little Italian.
The better one.
Very nice. What is this about video games work? Because my God of War, you could flip that here. You can flip this.
George says, "Hi, newly married Ashley and Jack also kiss my ass."
Why would you say that to Jack and Ashley, George? That's just rude.
You know what? Nobody wants to kiss your ass, Berryman. Don't even. You get out of here with that nonsense. This isn't about you today.
He loves Ashley. He loves his other half and Jack more.
What?
But he hates the white spider more.
Why do video games have flippable covers? I don't get that. My God of War did that. What's up with that?
I think that's just to be like a retailer appeal.
Oh, I get it. It's video game variants. That's what it is. You can judge the cover. I got it. Okay.
Separate copy of the game for the variant cover, right?
Yes.
Do not say the word variant tonight after that god-awful symbiote cover was revealed today.
I got it. That's why you do it.
What god-awful symbiote cover?
The Venom, the symbiote.
The one on the group.
Oh yeah. That was pretty.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh God, yes.
Was it Mike Mayhew or?
Oh, I see. The one with the 3 girls.
Yes.
With the symbiote.
I don't like that cover. Okay, so we have an A+, a high C, an A++++, A-, A+, and plus out of the Newlyweds, right?
Yep.
Right.
Okay. An A out of me. Not plus, because I do have a little bit of problems story-wise. But overall, I will admit that's the best Spider-Man game I've ever played.
Yes.
I will admit that. However, when I was 6-year-old Brad, this was pretty good. Okay, so spoiler time.
It's time for spoilers.
Spoiler time. We're gonna talk spoilers, and let's go around the horn and find out where we are in the game, what we have left to do, if we have to get 100%. So let me tell you where I am. So if you notice, I started this podcast about 2-3 minutes late because I am at the very end fighting Doc Ock. I just beat Mr. Negative, and I am on a rooftop battling him in a S&M costume. So it's very black, and it's very
leathery.
Oh yeah. Oh,
metal.
I'm sorry, Jack. Cover the Newlyweds' ears. Yeah. So anyway.
So you will give it a plus. I'm telling you right now.
What, Jack?
You will give it a plus after finishing that.
Oh, really?
That sent me over the edge into the A+ territory.
Okay, cool.
I agree with that.
So I have completed all the Black Cat missions because I like that. I got all the backpacks. I got all the sightseeing things. I got to do some Taskmaster stuff. I got to do... What else do I got to do? What's some other... I got to find all those demon hangouts.
Did you get find all the red balloons? Because that's what's really important. Getting the balloons back to that kid.
That little girl deserves to let those balloons go.
Wait a minute. What balloons are we talking about?
No, I'm just kidding.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh, that's right. I did chase those.
There is a nod to the
I haven't
balloons.
chased the pigeon. I haven't got all the pigeons yet either in this one.
The pigeons are worse than the balloons.
You get the pigeons. The pigeons are important.
Oh,
Yeah, the pigeons.
They didn't have the whiny kid though. Like the kid is like, my balloon. Oh.
Okay, so
I'll chase pigeons any day.
I guess we can talk about. I guess we can talk about the story mode. Or
let's talk story. Let's do story mode, and then we'll do side missions.
Okay. So Zach, you finished the story mode, right?
I have finished the story mode. I've done all the side missions. Okay. I've done all the crimes. The only thing I have not done is I need to go through and redo the challenges so I can get the last of the suits. Otherwise, I'm 100% done according to the meter on the map.
How do you get the little icon, the trophy on the PlayStation where it's platinum or whatever? How do you get that?
So you've got to get all of the suits. Now, there is an exception because there is a secret suit that if you didn't know about it, it was added on day one. It was a day one part of the day one patch where there is secret photos you can take. There's 50 secret photos you can take. Yes.
How do you find those? Are they on the map?
They're not on the map, but they're on the mini map. So, like, you'll see...
Lord.
And so...
I gotta swing around blind? It's like Ray Charles with web shooters. I mean, come on.
That lets you see them on the mini map. And it indicates them. Yeah, there's a mod you can put on the suit. I'm gonna do that's like the last thing I'm gonna do.
Oh, there's a mod you can put on the suit to find it on the mini map to get the last suit?
Yes.
Oh, you know how big New York City is?
Yeah, so There's one of Uncle Ben's grave. There's one of.
By the way, the people that have post selfies of Spider-Man next to Uncle Ben's grave, you guys are heartless. I mean, seriously, heartless.
Guilty as charged, Brad.
Here, hey, Uncle Ben, say cheese.
Guilty as charged, Brad.
You did that,
Neil? I have no soul. What can I say?
And then there's the Ghostbusters firehouse in the game. Vinkman just made it. Yes.
Yeah, you can get a picture next to the Ghostbusters.
There's also a Joyner Street in the game.
Yes.
That's what gave you the
I hear there's a lot of prostitution and gangs on the Joyner Street.
It's like 6th Street.
Yeah.
It's on 5th Avenue. I posted a picture on the Crawl Space Facebook.
There's some bags of flour on that street too.
There's a bakery there with a lot of flour. Very good at prostitutes, flour, and yeast infections. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's gonna burn. Whoa!
To all of you right now. Anyway. Joyner Street is known for disease-ridden hookers and crack. F you, George, up the bunghole. All right.
Wait, is Ben made of cocaine?
Yes.
Whoa. Well, there's a lot of spider tramp stamps on that street.
So 90% of the time,
what were we on? We were on Where You Are in the Game. We got off on Joyner Street and we got lost like most of New York. Okay. Neil, where are you on the story?
I'm on the final level, but I have seen all the extra stuff. Haven't done any like walkthroughs or stuff like that, but I've seen the entire story. Okay. That's why it got a B+ from me, and we'll go into that later. But I know about everything else. I haven't had time to do everything but the story yet.
Yeah.
So that's more on me because I could just drop out of college and play the game. But I
could get a divorce and be unemployed. So yeah, but priorities, great power, great responsibility, less PlayStation.
Hey, I finished it while planning a wedding, so don't.
You have no excuse.
Jack wins. Jack wins. That's funny. Javi, where are you on the story?
In the morning game.
It says I'm at 57%. I'm somewhere midway. Okay. I'm just past where Ashley is. I've gone to the Halloween party. I've been sucked into doing side missions, and I've got all the photos, the backpacks, got all the pigeons, and I get too obsessed over like photo mode and messing with that and trying to get the cool new shot.
I had been doing. I was playing a little story mode, and then I do a little side mission, so I didn't go through it too fast. Yeah, but I wish I would have gone too fast before I did this show.
Dude, I was.
I don't know how it ends yet.
I was killing myself to make sure that I got through the game so we would be ready for this review. So,
like I said, I don't know if I said earlier, but I started this podcast a little late because I was fighting Doc Ock up to the bitter end. So, all right, Chi-Town, I think you completed it, didn't you?
I completed the story mode. I am at 89% right now.
Okay.
The side missions, I've done all the combat one. Spoiler alert: Taskmaster, Tombstone are completed. The ridiculous Screwball mission has been completed.
Oh, I haven't seen Screwball yet.
She's in Harlem.
Yeah, in Harlem. And then I still have to do the damn pigeons, the location of all the landmarks and all that stuff.
That'll be our new favorite quote. Those damn pigeons.
Those damn pigeons.
They are. They're worse than the balloons. And speaking of which, if you collected all the backpacks, I believe it's the third backpack, or maybe the second one, that has a nod to Spider-Man 2, the video game, with all those balloons. It was a nice,
balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like a little kid writing a thank you to Spider-Man for rescuing his balloon.
Is that the picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
The huge arms, yes, it had huge arms.
So, as far as story-wise, I liked all of it, but I noticed a lot of slot-isms in there that I just...
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But I'm at 89%, and I'm still loving it.
Yes. Okay. Ashley, you're at the Halloween party, and Jack, you finished it, right?
Yeah, I finished it, and I'm like 98% or something like that. I still need to do the research stations, but I've done...
Oh, gosh.
I think I've done I've done all the pigeons. I've done all the landmarks except for the raft. I forgot to get the raft. I thought I had them all done, but I didn't have it. I didn't get the raft yet, apparently. But I've done enough of the Taskmaster challenges to get all of the suits. And something that tweaked me right off. I bothered to get all the suit mods and upgrade all the gadgets to full. No trophy.
Oh.
I'm really pissed about that.
So you upgrade all the... Oh, I've been busy upgrading my skills. I'm almost 100% on all three. Do you get a...
I think there is a trophy for this.
Yeah, there's a gold trophy for...
Superior Spider-Man, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've done all the research stations, all the pigeons, backpacks, of course, all the Black Cat missions.
Yeah.
And all the fist bases, I believe.
Hey, I was trying to get a list of all the backpack, what they are. Can anybody find that on Google?
I can right now, actually.
Okay, cool.
I've got the IGN box.
I thought it'd be fun to list those. Oh, it's on IGN.
Okay, I've got it right here, Brad.
Here, read some of the backpacks. What do you get?
We have the first date menu, a hospital bill, a nightclub VIP card for Harry, the thank you drawing with
the red balloon,
the giant damn it, Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger arm.
Oh, the long Freddy Krueger.
The Spider-Man.
So cute.
A failed prototype of his web fluid, a locket of his parents, the infamous dumpling recipe, a hygiene kit, a graphing calculator,
a broken graphing calculator, a science trophy, a self-help book that says work-life balance for idiots, wheat cake recipe. Oh yes, Aunt May's famous wheat cake recipe. I had to read this one. I'm going to write it down.
I was going to say, I think you could write it down and actually make them.
The font's large enough and legible enough that you could actually replicate it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got an ESU badge. We got electrician gloves.
Fight Electro.
We got the classic web shooter. Cool. Pizza delivery hat.
Pizza time.
Oh, and Brad, I'm sure appreciated this one. The web pits.
Yes.
He stole that guy's pizza.
I love the web pitch. That was cool.
I thought of you when I found that one.
Yeah.
An apartment application, which I believe was him and NJ applied.
It was actually. Oh, I'm trying to think of Spider-Man's apartment. What's Chelsea Street? Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it said Chelsea Street on it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It said Mr. Muggins is his landlord. So deep cut there too.
Yeah, in the opening cutscene.
What is that?
Hi,
There's
Kitty.
a cat.
That is Kitty.
Ashley, is your cat? No, it's Javi.
No, that's the.
Ours is sleeping.
He's like having one hand. No, whatever.
Throw it down. Lands on his head.
Hysterical.
It's the cat.
Hey, how far is the cat in the game? No. Are all the Black Cat missions done?
All the Black Cat missions are done.
Did the cat buy the DLC?
Adorable. The little pictures that Felicia drew up of the cat and the spider.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love all of those.
Was that all the backpacks?
Let's see.
There's a ton more.
We're about halfway through. Let's keep going. Okay.
Keep going.
Spider Tracer, a knuckle duster,
That
Yuri's contact info, Oscorp visitor pass, a selfie, a fragment of the rhino's horn, a high school T-shirt that hasn't been washed in 6 years.
6 years, that was it. That's what he said.
Snow globe of New York City, his college thesis, what is that? I can't read what it was on. It was on neurotechnology, according to the dialogue. A piece of the Shocker suit, a job application
to the coffee bean,
which Gloria gets a job at later.
Random character.
Spider signal, the Nelson and Murdoch business card, a magnet for J. Jonah Jameson's Just the Facts radio show, a vial of sand, which is apparently contains all of the Sandman.
Well, some of the Sandman. Enough,
apparently, to keep him contained, and we don't know what will happen if he opens it.
How long did he leave that there?
Lord. Poor Sandman.
He just kept Sandman
for long enough for Chips and Starsky to write the last Sandman story again.
We'll talk about that.
We got an old camera, a ticket stub to the Tortures basketball game, a fragment of Mysterio's helmet, a Spidey Squad pin from apparently the only Spider-Man fan club in New York, which I find hard to believe. Sorry. A drawing of how Brad would be able to better identify the which issue this is, but it's The Amazing Spider-Man, The Menace of Mysterio. Has Spider-Man swinging in, and he's got 3 copies of Mysterio that he's trying to web up.
Yep.
We got some Spider Lego sketches where Peter's been trying to...
His original brainstorming session for what his logo would look like.
A fragment of... some test fragments of a stealth suit.
It's funny, I can hear Peter Parker or Spidey talking to you as you go through them.
In this game.
Yes.
Great.
A bottle of Fisk spices.
Ooh.
Peter's old glasses. MJ's first article in the school newspaper for students protest cuts in arts program. Wrestling flyer for Crusher Hogan.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Crusher Hogan poster in his apartment.
An off-brand portable game device.
By a Chinese knockoff knowing PD in his
Well, we get a Sense of Right Alliance crossover.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
We have the good luck card from Peter's farewell party from when he left the Bugle.
Yep.
A keychain that says "Every day in every way," and I'm getting better and better. Phone. What did he use that for? Do you remember?
I forget. Oh wait, he jerry-rigged up some nonsense.
He scrapped it for parts.
Yep.
The Spider-Man Menace article, physics textbook that stopped a bullet.
Yes.
The vial of the lizard's blood, gross.
That he used to make an anti-serum or something.
Yes.
Right.
The Vulture Jammer.
Oh yeah.
Which he used to. I think that he used to jam the signal so he could.
So his
flight suit wouldn't work.
His flight suit wouldn't work.
Yeah. A cracked lens from one of his old suits, and his boutonniere from prom.
Who's the one who cracked it again?
I actually enjoyed seeing all those. That was like a side mission that was kind of fun.
It was. I loved all the little dialogue bits too that fleshed it out.
I mean, I didn't mind traveling all over the city to get those. So
I've got the Easter eggs from IGN, which is woefully not completely accurate. But
here, before we read that, let's get into the pros and the cons of the story. Then we're going to go side missions and all the Easter eggs again. Okay. So let's do pros of the game. What's a couple pros that you guys liked? Who would like to?
I'll start.
Okay.
First things first, the seamlessness between transition video and cutscenes to gameplay.
That was awesome. You couldn't tell what's a cutscene when you're playing almost.
Yes. I mean, literally almost the cinematic experience that Insomniac did with this game made it complete. Because I went and played today Ultimate Alliance, the old PS2 game that they had briefly online for PS4. I'd gotten it and was playing that today, and it's jarring how the cinematic scenes and the gameplay scenes are two completely different things. Where it is not that way with this game. When you open up, it almost catches you off guard with the fact that you are actually, oh crap, you're playing. You're thinking, oh, you're just going to watch him swing, but no, you're actually actively.
Even that opening scene when you have "I'm Alive" that song playing, and he's swinging, and then you suddenly, oh, I'm controlling this.
Yes,
that was incredible. I especially thought that was great with the helicopter scene, where you're webbing and getting the crane on the wall, and then you have to. I agree 100% on that. That was really cool.
I love the fact that Spider-Man just beats ass in this game.
Oh my gosh, it's almost like Slott didn't write it. There's a lot of ass kicking in it.
Actually, it wasn't. I don't think Slott actually had as much influence as people say he did. He probably came on for 10 minutes, and then Christos Gage and Insomniac's in-house writer came in and took over. So Slot's influence was very negligible. So people who go like, "Whoa, I'm not buying this game because Slot," they're kind of...
I forget who mentioned it, but the negative of Slot, I think, would be he probably had impact on Feast and Mr. Negative. I would think that storyline.
That's probably it, just because those are his characters and his concepts.
And Screwball.
I feel like he was brought on for more courtesy than anything else.
No. Screwball is the only thing that's felt Slottish to me, because having an 8-year into his career Peter Parker acting like an adult is not Slot.
Nope.
I don't know.
Is it witchcraft?
That's actually one of my biggest pros is we have an adult grown man in the suit. It is not a little homecoming boy. It is 8 years on. Granted, he hasn't met Doc Ock and Green Goblin yet, but I love that we have a guy with experience with the webs and knows how to use them.
Yes. And is intelligent, is smart enough to be able to determine, the forces around him. He's also, he's a super sleuth. I think the story, is probably just so strong. And
being Marvel Studios,
being its own thing helped. Not adapting a movie, and I liked both Shattered Dimensions and Edge of Time, but this to me was far stronger because it existed in its own universe. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. It literally immersed you in the game. I think that the overall cinematography is fantastic. Like I said, I mentioned that a minute ago. But I think that this is... There's a reason I gave it an A+. I do have a couple of cons. But
we'll get there.
But other than that, I think it's just... the one thing that everybody wanted that we got was open world, being able to swing, getting in New York City. That's just not completely accurate. For some reason, that's like 3/4 of Harlem is missing. It fell into the ocean. It fell into the river or something.
That'll be in the Luke Cage game.
But for the most part, because I live with a former New Yorker, so I would ask him questions. Okay, what's different? The one thing that I was kind of annoyed by, but it wasn't really Insomniac's fault, was the fact that the Freedom Tower is not the Freedom Tower. I was hoping that there would be, the actual Freedom Tower, because that's what it was in like the trailer games of the game. But so I guess they had the rights early on, but later on they didn't. So kind of weird. But
you've got Avengers Tower, you got Osborne Industries there.
Yep, you've got.
By the way, you can get a trophy if you go up to the very top of the Avengers Tower and perch. Yep. That's a trophy.
Yeah, that's like one of the only trophies I have not gotten because I didn't realize it was a trophy.
Well, if you get a selfie on the Empire State Building, right?
Yeah.
I might have done that.
I wanted to point out too, they also have the Alchemax building.
Oh, I did hear them say Alchemax in the game.
Yes, there's an Alchemax. There is an Alchemax building.
Rand Industries.
Alias Agencies. A whole bunch. Doc Strange's house.
Oh yeah, the Sanctum Forum.
Yeah.
Which it looks really, really cool. But if you go by Nelson and Murdoch in Hell's Kitchen, you'll see an eviction notice on the door.
Oh,
that's fine.
Born again.
So Neil? What's a pro out of you? You gave it the lowest grade of all of us.
I will give. This was a surprise one for me. Miles Morales overall, all around Miles Morales. Huge improvement over any adaptation ever. Because for one, they gave him a personality, so that's a new thing. 2, I like where they're going with Peter and Miles. Peter is very much a mentor figure to Miles, and because of the events that put Miles into Peter's life, Peter relates to Miles very much and tries to steer him on a path to not necessarily avoid the mistakes he made when he was Miles' age, but enough to teach him, but enough to give him his own freedom and help guide him over the course of their journey.
Since you bring up Miles, I was very confused with the Miles dad thing, because it was Officer Davis as his dad, right?
Right.
Yes.
In the game.
So why would it not be Miles Davis, the trumpet player?
Because his dad's Jefferson.
His dad's name is Jefferson Davis in the comics.
They've never explained it, to my knowledge, in the book.
I think it's just.
Oh, they haven't?
I think it's just that his mom.
That he takes his mom's name.
I think it's just that
he kept her name when they married, or whatever.
I don't think they're married yet.
I think it was in. Javi, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was in like the first couple of issues of Miles's run. They mentioned that Miles just is closer to his mom, and so he just kind of keeps her name as. I don't quote me on that.
In the books, I thought they were married.
That. No, they're married in the books, but I don't think Bendis has ever explained the difference in the names.
Well, he's not going to do it. He's over at DC.
Right.
But I was very apprehensive about like when that first trailer from E3 was released of Miles on the ground taking that video of Peter catching the helicopter. I was like, oh no, it's Miles. But then when I actually played the game, I was pleasantly surprised by his inclusion. This is the first time I've actually cared about him ever.
I like Miles a lot in the comics, and this is they took a very different take with Miles on this, and I still am confused by the name change. Why, if your dad's last name is Davis, your mom's name is Morales? Well, I don't get it.
If they weren't married,
there's no alliteration. If he's Miles Davis,
they could get married, and his mom just kept her maiden name.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. But what I was going to say is if he was born before they were married, and
okay,
I
could see that.
Then he could take his mom's last name.
Got it.
In that situation,
doesn't matter.
I know I'm held up on Miles.
Yes. Douglas, come on, let's move on.
Neil his biggest pro was Miles Morales. Javi, what's one of your big pros?
Probably adult Peter, because he makes adult decisions, and he's not the one who is ultimately getting the short end of the stick. I mean, yes, he has his ups and downs in his life, but he ultimately does come out on top. He doesn't come off like a loser, and he comes off as a mature adult.
Who would like to see adult Peter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as opposed to baby Peter?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I love how everyone just raised their hands.
Yeah.
No argument.
I don't hate Tom Holland, though. That's the thing.
I don't either.
And I can understand there's a need, too, for a younger character to balance out the current roster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
If Holland were to act more adult-like,
I think
it was in like Amazing 15 and Spider-Man.
Star-Lord and Iron Man and Bruce Banner, they're in their 40s, I think maybe 50s. A 20-year-old Spider-Man is a lot different than a 16-year-old or a 23-year-old.
Peter's always acted above his age. He was in high school. He was always acting more mature than his peers.
Exactly.
But this is very much an ultimization thing, and we're getting way off topic. Let's.
Yeah.
This is not an MCU podcast. Let's talk about the game. Sorry.
Hey, I'm the one that started it. Damn it. Javi, biggest pro. What's yours?
I mean, the same thing with everybody else. I really appreciate having a more experienced, more mature Spider-Man. You can not only does it affect the story, but Insomniac has made this point several times that you feel his experience right away when you play the game, how he moves, how he can control himself, how he fights, and it makes a world of difference. And it's also, I appreciate having, not to steal from Chi-Town Spidey at all, but having Mary Jane being a main part of the game too. Yeah. Reading the prequel book, you can see where, why they had the troubles that they did. But she's so integral to that story and how he gets out of one of the main conflicts for it. It's her that brings him back to his responsibility and being who he is.
I think Hornacek had a very funny point. He goes, for those listening on the audio podcast, raising your hand doesn't help.
Yeah.
I think that's
we're
funny.
Assuming that people are watching now. So.
I know. I think that was funny.
Yeah, but we have to be cognizant that this is going to be a audio show here.
That is true. Hey, Javi, so I don't forget to go back to it. Tell me a little bit about what happened in that novel.
So the novel, starts. It's kind of hard to say where it starts because they say 6 months at some point.
6 months
it
before?
Before, but it goes back earlier. The novel spans a couple months.
Okay.
He's trying to take down the Kingpin. He gets introduced to Yuri. They form an uneasy partnership because there's a guy in the Spider-Man suit going around town, not acting like Spider-Man. But most people who see him up close know it's not really Spidey because the web lines in his suit aren't right. And that turns out to be Blood Spider from those.
Wow, that's a deep cut.
Refresh me. Who is Blood Spider?
In the books, he was hired by Taskmaster. Taskmaster had like 3 guys there that he was training to be kind of like pseudo Avengers. So he had Blood Spider. He had a Hawkeye guy.
What series was this?
This was amazing. This was like 457-ish. It was right when the parents came back.
357. Yeah.
357.
You're back to the 90s on this.
Yeah. So the Blood Spider in that had that proto Ben Reilly Spider-Man suit where it had like the big white spider covering. And
it was red.
A weird green. Yeah, because he was Blood Spider. That's right. He's had 2 looks.
I posted. I'm going to try to post it in the YouTube chat, but we'll see.
I see it. Zach, is that the Blood Spider? Is that the one that was like a prototype of the Scarlet Spider?
Not quite. This was actually used in the series, but yes, it was amongst when they did do the prototypes.
The one that kissed Firestar, right?
Bagley did bring that back.
Yeah,
that was in the Spider-Man Collector's special.
But he's Blood Spider in name only because that guy was just a regular guy. This one's gotten, as you find out throughout the book.
I see an image of him. I'd totally forgotten about him.
He's gotten his powers basically from a secret Oscorp experiment. And he's crazy, so he eventually believes that he's the real Spider-Man and this other guy's an imposter. So he's got his own thing going around. Fisk is trying to work with Osborn to get control of the city and be a financial manager. And if he can get this powerful position, then he'll be too big to fail. So Spider-Man and Yuri are trying to take Fisk down. Meanwhile, Mary Jane's wanting to be a reporter because she wants to contribute to society and work her way into the Bugle.
Okay, so Mary Jane
got her first job. Okay. Her idea is she's going to take down the Kingpin, which, Peter wants her to stay as far away from Fisk as she can. Which is a lot of where their conflict lies because he's being overprotective and she wants to do her own thing and he can't handle it, especially when they try and introduce.
And that's what led to the breakup from the game.
And they try and introduce a love interest for Peter. That's
what's her name?
Annika.
Like Craven's daughter?
No.
Oh, okay.
She reminded me, and it's only because I just rewatched it recently, the MTV Spider-Man show, where they had that girl Indy. She reminded me of her a lot. I just watched it as I was reading the book.
MTV Spider-Man. God, that takes me back.
Oh yeah.
Have we ever talked about that show on this podcast?
Let's not.
We never did.
That never comes up.
I mean, it was 2003, so it was right in between the two. Between the first and second movies.
Well, it take place.
Donovan did review it on the front page.
With Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris is Spider-Man's voice. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
so I got him the Shattered Dimensions gig.
Yeah, he did good on that.
Oh my god!
What?
I didn't know that Neil Patrick Harris was the voice of Spider-Man at one point.
Do you have a PlayStation 3, guys?
Yeah.
Go get Shattered Dimensions. He's the voice of Spider-Man in that game.
He's the
he was. Yeah, we have Shattered Dimensions.
Okay, Neil Patrick Harris is the regular Spidey.
Oh, cool.
Oh, he was amazing in that one. Okay.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Keaton was ultimate.
Dan Gilvaz. I can't say his name.
Dan Gavilsian.
Something like Dan was 2099, and then Noir was Christopher Daniel Barnes from the 90s show.
And Josh Keaton was Ultimate, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Josh Keaton was Ultimate. Yep. That's a great. Here,
what are you?
We're diverging, but I would have to say This is my favorite Spider-Man video game of all time, and Shattered Dimensions is my second favorite.
Both of which Slot had an influence on.
Oh!
I
think it's telling that Slot is better. This goes to show that Slot is probably better as a video game plot layout person.
He's a plot guy. He's always been a plot guy. That's
probably why he's good at doing video game development.
Yeah.
If he's a plot guy, what would make him a good comic book writer?
A character writer.
Character writer. There you go. Real quick, Javi.
The other wrinkle with. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun to read something a little bit different. It went by a lot quicker than the game's going by. That's for sure. It was a really fast read. They also brought in a twist because this is an alternate Earth.
Yeah.
They keep his employer at the lab a mystery. My boss at the lab. He's someone famous. They don't tell you who it is. They leave that for the PS4 game. But because Fisk is the main
Doc Ock,
is the main villain in the book, one of his personal bodyguards is Maya. Oh my God, her name. Echo. Echo from the Daredevil.
Echo, okay.
Oh. So instead of blaming Murdoch for the death of her father, in the book, she blames Spider-Man.
Oh.
Fisk has led her to believe that Spider-Man's who's responsible for the death of her father, so she hates Spider-Man and wants to kill him.
I'll be.
So Peter's got two people that know how he fights, Blood Spider and Echo, and he's got to deal with her as well and try and figure out if she's the same.
Yeah. You've got bunny ears.
If she's the same person that's in the Spider-Man suit.
You're getting photobombed. Your cat came in, then your wife came in. Tell everybody I said hey.
I will.
So what would you give the grade for the novel? Did you like a lot?
I think I gave it a B-.
You did. You reviewed it on the front page. You gave it a B-, you said?
Yeah.
You forgot what was posted on your own website.
I know.
Javi, I haven't read the book, so I didn't want to get spoiled. But thank you for
the epilogue. The epilogue to the book is the first 5 minutes of the game. It takes a time jump from where the main story ends to X months later, and Yuri calls him. He's like, "We got to go get Fisk." So it's that whole intro.
Nice.
Which was a lot of fun.
Chi-Town, your biggest pro out of the game.
Biggest pro out of the game is, well, we said this many times before it came to me, it's that Peter's being more adult and kicking ass and, just being his own man in this game. But if you play the Batman Arkham Asylum games, and this is basically us saying we want that, but as Spider-Man, and we got that with this game. The other pro is, of course, Mary Jane. I'm an MJ fan, so the side missions were a little stealthy, and it got a little hard unless you had one of those distractor things that she shows. Miles is in there too, and escaping Rhino took a couple of tries for me.
So I just did that tonight. Yeah. Boy, Rhino is ruthless. He'll smash on.
Oh yeah,
Rhino. You gotta time it just right with Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
And swinging through the city, I don't know, for me, it's just a little therapy and just relaxing just to swing through the city.
I agree. That's why I didn't mind those missions for the backpacks and stuff, because swinging is fun.
I know, and it goes right back.
By the way, we're talking about Spider-Man. This is the internet. We could be interpreting that totally different. Swinging is fun.
That escalated quickly.
I know. Real quick, Ionic Shock wants to know what book we're talking about. There is a Spider-Man PS4 novel out there. If you search it on Amazon, what's the name? Or wait, I lost Javi. What is it?
It's Hostile Takeover.
Hostile Takeover. Search that on Amazon.
It uses the same box art or the interior, the variant cover for the video game.
So that's the cover. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So Mary Jane and an adult Spider-Man is Chi-Town's biggest pros. Ashley,
and the combat too.
And the combat was good. Ashley, what is your biggest pro out of the game?
Okay, I have to bring the mic closer so I got a cat in my lap.
I'm not sure that mic is working. It should sound clearer.
She's too far away.
Are we okay? What about? Here we go.
It sounds like you're.
I mean, we can hear you, but
I can hear you, but you should sound much better with that microphone.
You might toggle the back of your mic, Ashley.
I don't have a toggle.
No, I'm talking about the cord that goes into your mic.
Gotta do it for mine.
Hey, Ashley's cat, can you do that for her?
Does Ashley have a cat? I've got all these boxes on top of
Yes.
There
yes. There's
Oh yeah, there's Bogey.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
That's
Hold on.
much better.
I thought I heard you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a little better. Go ahead.
Stop trying to eat it, Bogey.
Yeah, now she's clear. That's what the mic should sound like.
Okay. Good. So, anyways, my biggest pro is I love the alternate universe they adapted for the game. Everything, all the changes are so different from anything we've seen before, but they all make so much sense. Like, for example, and this isn't too spoiler heavy because you find out like in the first 10 minutes of the game, but Peter's relationship with Otto Octavius, he is a research assistant for him, and they're working together to find a way to develop prosthetic limbs for amputees.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this great dynamic of how they work together, and it's still very much Otto, but in a way we've never seen him before. And the way he and Peter interact together, I can tell, I'm not there in the game yet, but I can tell there's so much foreshadowing and build up for a really emotional climax between these two characters that this is going to be a really big deal.
Right.
Jack is nodding very vigorously, scaring Bogey away. So yeah, that obviously comes to fruition. I love seeing how they set up these details so that there's a lot of payoff later.
Probably the Black Cat mission was...
The Black Cat missions are a lot of fun.
What did you like about those?
I love the setup for them. All the conversations, the details with the illustrations that she leaves for him with the spider and the cat. They're cute. I like their dynamic, how he's, even as smart as he is, it's not like he's totally clueless, but she's kind of one step ahead of him in a way because she thinks very differently from him. She's much more, Peter's he's a great sleuth and he's very strategic, but she is crafty.
Yeah.
She's cunning in a way that he's not really had to deal with. Yes.
One of my
advantage of his naivety in some ways.
One of my favorite things of the game happened on a Black Cat mission. I shared it on my Facebook.
Oh, the Lonesome Pinky reference.
Well, you just ruined it. Yes, the Lonesome Pinky. The Lonesome Pinky, the 1980s Spider-Man neighbor who was a country and western singer in his apartment. That is a deep cut.
That was one of the best.
Remember when Chris did that on the podcast?
Yes,
where he did the Lonesome Pinking? Oh my god!
He did that as a Bertoni bio on the show.
That was so funny.
You got to go back and listen to that. That was one of the best bits that was done of that.
That was a long time ago, but that was when they said Lonesome Pinky in the Black Cat mission, I was just like, someone knows their spider history.
They had They had Jameson in the fourth recording reference a Nazi skeleton covered in bees.
Yes, where do they get that from? That's
that one.
It's almost as if they listened to the show.
It's almost like that's a straight up Kevin quote.
Yes,
I mean
it's almost as if they've listened to the show before.
And
well, we did have that crawl space line.
He did say the word crawl space in it.
He did.
Confirmed.
He did.
I smiled.
When he said crawl space, I literally hit save. I got to get the audio. Share.
Did you get it?
I did. And I need to figure out how I can download it and put it as a podcast intro. That'd be fun. Just have the actor say crawl space. I've made it through the crawl space.
I will say this is the best sounding Peter Parker since Josh Keaton.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
It almost sounds
almost
just like
job.
Josh Keaton.
And the funny thing is Josh Keaton's in this game.
Yes.
He is?
He's the voice of Electro.
He's Electro.
No! Why did I not know that?
I will say this. It is very weird hearing Ben 10 play Peter Parker
That's Ben. Who's Ben 10? Is that another clone?
No,
that's Ben 27.
Yuri Lowenthal voices Peter Parker and voices Peter, and it's kind of weird knowing like one of your childhood things is voicing another one of your childhood things.
Yeah.
But he does a very good job at voicing an adult when usually he's typecasted as a teenager.
I dig.
Well, he's been Spider-Man for 4 years now.
6 years.
Who?
4
years?
Is? Yuri Lowenthal. He's Spider-Man on Spider-Man Unlimited on the mobile game, which they're still updating. They just had like the Red Goblin suit and the ugly new symbiote suit. So yeah, he's Spidey and like 50 other Spidey.
Boy, he would be a good interview. I'm gonna have to see if we can get him on the show. That'd be fun.
So I've been hearing he's Spider-Man for 4 years now. So
I dig his
this
Spider-Man.
is just more of the same. Yeah,
he's done a fabulous job.
Yeah. And Peter has been trying to get an interview with the Mary Jane voice actor. She's a model in real life too.
Not the Mary Jane voice actor. The face of Mary Jane. They used the models.
I thought it was a voice actress.
No, Laura Bailey is the voice actress.
Michael Bailey's sister.
That's right. Oh my god.
For this game, they used they covered in those leotards and those CGI.
The little white
motion
dots.
capture. And I think I posted it on the review page that Josh Keaton did his own. I mean, we saw Josh Keaton acting like Electro.
That's funny.
I want to see that.
Really, really cool.
Huh. That's cool. Where were we? We were talking. We got Ashley.
We were doing pros.
Ashley's pros were Black Cat. What else, Ashley?
How they adapted the universe. I wanted to add two. I love from what little we've seen of the DLC so far. The first episode that has Black Cat. I love her new suit. I'm really excited to see that up close.
What it looks like.
Is somebody going to cosplay as that Black Cat?
Maybe, possibly. Which could potentially happen sometime in the near future. I'd say my other biggest pro is just how great the gameplay feels. It feels, I mean, there are obviously it's not completely perfect, but it feels very seamless. You can go from swinging around to engaging in a fight and just in seconds. And there you have so many different options in battle that, it takes a little while to get used to, but it really introduces you to each one and helps you build strategies very intuitively.
I just looked at a picture of the Black Cat DLC. I like those glasses that she's got. They look like spider eye lenses that are clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks cool.
The dialogue between Black Cat and Spider-Man during those missions is really cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I will say this. Given my experience with a lot of AAA titles this past year and how horribly they've launched, I was super impressed by the fact that on day one, there were almost no problems with my gameplay experience. Like I didn't have a single bug or glitch. Usually, it's for a AAA title, the amount of quality.
What's a AAA? What are we talking about?
AAA is like a AAA. It's like a distributor like Activision or basically like high end publishers.
A AAA game is pretty much like the highest kind of division as far as how they're distributed, the big studios making them, so it's kind of the biggest studios are behind AAA games.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of games launched this past year and they were absolutely terrible at launch, and they had to be patched and and not rewritten from scratch, but they had to be seriously patched, and it took so much storage space. But this game launched with such high quality assurance that it was a very seamless first day of gameplay.
They announced
gold
this
a few months ago.
They announced this 2 years ago now?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. And
I've been wanting to play it for 2 years.
And 2 year long development has been something that I think benefits these type of games. So many games nowadays. The Arkham series was really bad about this. Call of Duty's really bad about this. Madden's really bad about this. Is that they are on a yearly cycle, and I think it hurts the overall gameplay. To Neil's point.
Well, there are some games that have like a 3 year or a 2 year life cycle, like a 2 year development cycle, like Star Wars Battlefront 2. that had to be completely revised because of the whole microtransactions fiasco. But games like the Halo franchise, they have between each game they have a 3-year development cycle, but sometimes they still come out like total crap. So it might just be Insomniac has a really good development team, and I think they do.
I think everything I've heard, and I'm not a huge gamer. I'm a sports gamer mainly, but like in talking with my roommate, he is a huge gamer, and him and I were talking. He goes, "Dude, everything's seamless." And as soon as we heard Insomniac, he goes, "Dude, this is going to be a good game. There's not, it's not going to be a bad game that's going to be released. They're good at what they do," and I think that you saw the results of that with what Neil was saying.
Real quick, we haven't heard Jack's pros. I want to hear Jack's pros. What are your biggest pros out of the game, buddy?
I want to add too that we're talking all about all this, game development stuff. Jack is actually a game designer and developer, so we can give back insight as well. So.
What can you talk about? What games you're working on? Or will you have to kill me? No.
Not like that. I'm not working in a big studio yet. Right now, I'm just working as an independent contractor for this one guy. We're working on like this little asteroids multiplayer NDA? Style game. I can say that much.
Okay.
But
cool, dude.
Yeah. Thanks. I have two main big pros.
Oh, real quick, Jack. The Devil Breaker in YouTube chat says Jack is so awesome. Game design! !
Thanks,
Jack. Your first time on the show, you're getting fans. There you go.
But, right, my two main big pros were, as you were pointing out with all the deep cuts, Brad.
Yeah,
it's clear, and I could tell from the some early interviews of the Insomniac people that the writers and the people who worked on this game loved Spider-Man.
Yes.
That was bleedingly obvious, and that's why it came out so good.
Yeah, I love the deep cuts too. When Slot did it in 800, that's a little bit too much. That it didn't flow very well, I thought. But in a game like this, if you have just a little Lonesome Pinky, you have just a little bit of Mr. Muggins, you just throw it out, and us longtime fans eat that up, and we just love it. So.
Well, and then there's the saddest Easter egg ever. I don't know if you heard about this.
Oh, we'll get to that in just a minute because I definitely want to talk about that Easter egg. But I want to hear Jack's pros. So deep cuts is one of them. What's another one?
Okay, my final pro is they tackled a theme story-wise in this that has always been a central theme with all of Spider-Man stories, and that is, what does it really mean to do good? And I wanted Shattered Dimensions to be basically this game and a lot of the previous games, but they never really tackled the Spider-Man story and themes quite the way, as seriously and as deeply as they did with this. It wasn't like ridiculously deep. They weren't like doing symbolism or anything, but just that theme of what does it really mean to do good was pervade throughout, and they handled it extremely well.
I also thought they got it right where the best Spider-Man stories, in my opinion, is where the life of Peter Parker and the life of Spider-Man intertwine, and one affects the other, and they have to figure it out. And this, you felt it with Aunt May at the feast, or what's that called? The Feast
Center. Yeah.
Feast Center.
And the relationship with the girlfriend, which is Mary Jane, you felt that, etc. So I thought, also Miles and his father, you felt that conflict between the life of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So I think I agree with you. How they got the themes of how do you do good. That was
and having Mr. Negative as the main villain for the core of it for the most part also hit that duality perfectly, because you see Lee first as Peter, and then you see Mr. Negative as Spider-Man, and then he makes that connection, and that is a central point of those two lives crashing together, and him just being like, oh no.
So it's fun how those points mirror each other. I also want to point out, I think the main distinction, how I would sum it up, is that this game focuses on character and building that character and developing it in a way that other games just haven't. I think that's the key difference. That's where this depth comes from, why we feel the strength of these interactions. Whereas other games, and I think the comics for a long time only focused on telling a story, and you kind of had the story driving the characters rather than the characters driving the story.
Which always feels better.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Bell wants to know, Ashley, you're not a big Mary Jane fan. What did you think of the character here?
Well, the first thing I did when I could play her was try and figure out how to kill her.
Them fighting
you
words, Ashley.
are almost a real life Felicia. You do not like Mary Jane.
Like, let's
how
did into traffic.
You ran her into traffic? What?
Try to get Tombstone's gang to shoot her.
I have to say,
is there a way to kill Mary Jane? The only way I thought you could kill her is if she's discovered.
So on screen, like, we can show Spider-Man getting killed, but
I think she's just spotted when she's trying to sneak around.
I think the implication is that she gets curb stomped or something.
Wow.
She doesn't make it past
that. Because, like, Ashley, why are you dying all this time? I hate that redhead.
And more during my cons.
Chi-Town is going to be triggered in a minute.
I am triggered.
Ashley,
all right, snowflakes.
Ashley, do you like reporter Mary Jane as opposed to supermodel Mary Jane, or neither one is appealing?
I like that she has more agency and she's a much more active character, and she can take care of herself. I think they swing it a little too hard, and she falls into a character trope I find really annoying. Also, I think they really took character cues from her. Or about her from Karen in the Netflix Daredevil series, who also becomes a reporter to take down Fisk.
Yeah.
I'm like, Karen did it better.
I thought you were talking about Karen in his homecoming suit. Different Karen. You know, the AI and Spider-Man suit and Homecoming.
Oh, right.
Right. That's right. Sadly.
Yeah.
We had mentally forgot that, Douglas, until you brought it up. Damn it.
Sorry, you can call me Karen if you'd like.
Stop!
I won't take you up on that, Brad.
That's going to give me nightmares.
Peter, tell me about your thoughts on a reporter Mary Jane. That is a bit of Ultimate.
Yeah, that's a bit of the Ultimate comic and the Ultimate cartoon.
Yeah, which
I kind of do have a problem with it, but the way that it relates into the game is just fine for me. You get to, play her, and the dialogue between her and Peter is just, it kind of has a will they, won't they kind of feel like, like Ross and Rachel and Friends. But at the end, it's very satisfactory for me. So I enjoyed it.
I think they did do a good job capturing the dynamic between them. It was, even for me as not an MJ fan, I found myself enjoying their scenes.
I will say this. I think that they captured the essence of it, but I think what this game is, and Neil kind of alluded to it with the Miles Morales thing, I think this game overall has nailed all the best of all the Spider-Man across the different continuities and added those own different spices and taken the best of those things and put it in this universe. I think that's what makes it work.
Devil Breaker on YouTube chat says Mary Jane is not Lois Lane. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that.
Lois Lane is much more of a badass when it comes to reporting, but I mean, this is like MJ getting the start of it, and
if you go back to all Spider-Man games, Mary Jane generally has to be rescued.
She's the damsel in distress.
Yeah, she's the damsel in distress in a lot of those games.
It's nice to flip it a bit with her, though,
to
make her the antagonist.
And I think overcompensating.
Sorry, Ashley, of what I'm about to say, but I think that the developers know how important and integral Mary Jane is to the mythos.
Oh.
And sorry,
I love that Ashley hates Mary Jane. I just
no Black Cat wedding for you.
No, they just killed her in the What If.
Yes, they did.
Going off of Jay's turn one of these days. I'll never forget.
MM0 on YouTube chat says the truth is Mary Jane has a lot of different hats. She's an actress, a supermodel, an entrepreneur.
She is.
I'm going to have to duck out.
Okay, man.
But before I do, I would like to echo that point that she's many things.
Yeah.
Even in the main 616, she did try and become a psychologist for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's more than just wanting to be an actress.
Javi, before you go, go ahead. Finish your point while I ask you a couple questions. I can't believe I didn't mention it right off the bat. My favorite part so far, granted I'm not done yet,
was that first cutscene in the diner, which minor spoilers, Stan Lee shows up.
Yes, let's talk about that for a second.
And hearing him
totally
give his blessing to Peter and MJ as his favorite couple after 10 years of One More Day.
Yeah.
Like, that was just... that's Ashley's like,
no. Yeah. Real quick, Javi, like your cons of the game. We're going to get to cons in just a second, but what's some of your big cons before we lose you?
So, I mean, a personal con was me getting used to the style of gameplay after just playing a different Spider-Man game, which is not Insomniac's fault. That's just my brain had to rewire. And what's not Speedball? What's her name? Screwball. That's
what would happen if Screwball and Speedball got married?
Yeah.
They'd be balls. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Speed Screw.
Speedballs. Okay.
Oh, and not having the symbiote suit yet. I love the original black costume, so I'm sad that I don't have that yet.
Of the costumes available, what was your favorite?
I just unlocked 2099, the classic one.
Yeah.
And that looks pretty awesome. As much as I hated the Insomniac advanced suit when we first saw it, I've played quite a bit in that suit now. Yeah. I've gotten used to it. And then I think the one I played the most, though, was the classic suit, without a doubt. That's just, I just feel like an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah. I have to ask, did you like the hoodie suit?
Yes.
I love that look of like desperation on Zach's face. Like,
please, did you like taken my share of Scarlet Spider selfies.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah.
And one other question. I guess you kind of answered it. The Stan Lee cameo. Was there anything else in the game you were just like, oh, like my Lonesome Pinky thing? Did you just go, oh, that's so cool?
I'm still looking to find the pizza place from Spider-Man 2 that he worked for in the movie.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it's there. But the kids and I rewatched that the other day. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's in the game. If they put the Ghostbusters house.
Well, you remember in Spider-Man 2, the video game, he had to deliver pizzas. I wonder if...
Right, yeah.
There is a reference to that, though, in the backpacks, I think.
Pizza time.
Yeah, the Pizza Hut. I wanted to add real quick and cut in. So, we got married last Saturday, and we had a little mini moon afterwards. We didn't, do anything too nice. We just, stayed somewhere locally. But they had a smart TV that had Netflix. And so what we got to do right after our wedding was watch Spider-Man 3, which had just been put up on Netflix.
I've got a question. Do you guys like the scene of Peter Parker acting like a total jackass and walking down the street?
How can you not love
stupid trick? That's like my favorite scene in the movie.
I haven't done that yet. How do you do that?
Oh yeah, in the game, Brad, you mean?
Yeah, how do you do that? I haven't done that.
Okay, as you're walking around, and you have to make sure you're not engaged in like any kind of like the parkour mode or fighting mode. Just make sure he's walking normally. Okay. Press square, and he'll do the finger guns.
Oh, I think. Do you get a trophy or something?
Yeah, if you do it like 5 or 8 times, you get a trophy that says Spider-Man About Town. That's what it was called.
Oh, I'm going to do that. I have not done that. Javi, I appreciate it. Anything else you want to say about the game before you got a jet, man?
No, it's just that it brings me back to the young Spider fan that I used to be. And between this game and Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man, it's just a really good time to be a Spider-Man fan.
Oh, absolutely.
What was the first Spider-Man video game you ever played, Javi? Was it Atari?
I'm sure there was something on. My friends never had that. Mm-hmm. I think I played like some of the Sega Genesis ones.
Ooh,
the first one I ever owned was the reason I got a PlayStation 1 was for the first Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Oh, so that one's always going to have a special place for me.
Awesome. Javi, I appreciate you taking time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem, buddy. Talk to you later. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye, buddy. Let's see. Eject Javi. Yes, I'm ejecting Javi. There we go. That's a good question all around. What's the very first Spider-Man video game you ever played? Zach, what was it?
I'm looking because there was a MS-DOS based.
Was it Amazing Spider-Man where you fought Mysterio?
Yes.
And the skeleton. You saw the spider skeleton appear?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the...
Had a Todd McFarlane box cover art? Yes.
Yes. And it had
it
had the 8.5 inch floppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go even further for you guys. what about the Spider-Man and Captain America team up?
Dr. Doom's Revenge.
Dr. Doom, yeah.
I did play that in the arcade.
No, it wasn't an arcade. It was an IBM Commodore thing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't play that. I didn't play that one. Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
And it had comic book pages. Remember that, Peter?
Yep, I did. And you fought the Hulk.
Yeah, but the Hulk was Mysterio. Yeah. And I thought that was just like the cutting edge when in the early 1990s. I'm playing that.
How far we've come!
Oh, I know.
I played that on my Tandy 3000.
Wow.
Rip.
So that was like 1990, Zach. I think
that was according to Wikipedia, that was 91, and then
91.
Shortly thereafter, I played Arcade's Revenge. Return of the Sinister, Arcade's Revenge, and then Maximum Carnage, Separation Anxiety, and the Spider-Man animated series on Genesis.
Neil, what was your first Spider-Man game you ever played?
My first was this. This is my friend who introduced me to the game, but the Spider-Man 2 game, and that's probably why I had such high expectations going.
2004.
Yep.
That's because Neil's like a child. I forget.
That has often been claimed as the best Spider-Man game of all time.
Until now.
Yeah, I agree.
It is the best open world game of all time.
Oh, you're gonna love me when we get into the cons of this game.
Oh yeah, we're still not to cons. Peter, your first Spider-Man game
was the Doom, Dr. Doom 1.
Dr. Doom.
And then I played what Zach was talking about, the skeleton, with Mysterio.
It was basically called Amazing Spider-Man by Paragon, I think.
I think so. And then there was another one.
Yeah, I'm bringing you back.
First the PlayStation came out with their games. Spider-Man 1 and then Spider-Man 2 with Electro. And then another computer-based one based off the Sinister Six.
The Sinister Sticks.
Yeah, you had to fight sticks.
I did. They were
and Stone.
Did you play that? I thought it was really poor. The original NES 8-bit, the Spider-Man versus Sinister Six. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Well, no. This was not the NES one. This was actually the computer one. I'm gonna have to look it up and find out what it was.
Oh yeah, I don't play that one. The game company that put out that NES Spider-Man game was LJN, and LJN are known for very, very poor video games. And it had a great cover, like I often say, an Eric Larson drawing of the six in the eyeglass Spider-Man. That cover art sold it on me. I love that.
And then the Sega Genesis game, I love that game.
Even video games get me, right?
Even 30 years ago, Brad was a total sellout for.
Dude,
covers.
I judge a book by its cover. Okay. Ashley, what was your first Spider-Man video game you ever played?
It was actually the arcade game when little 7-8-year-old Ashley was off playing Mortal Kombat at the arcade.
Is this the one with Submariner and Black Cat?
Yep.
That's the arcade one?
Did Ashley die?
I loved cats.
Oh, there we go.
Ashley, we're losing you. Are you there? There you are.
Can you hear me? Okay. But yeah, that was my first experience with Black Cat, the first time I was exposed to her. And she was the character I'd always play because I always wanted to play the girl character. And I love cats. So
I thought that game was so strange in the fact that Black Cat's a natural, but why Submariner and Hawkeye?
Yeah.
I think I remember that. Was this mid-90s?
Yeah,
because this was during this would be around the time that Avengers cartoon was on the United Sandman.
Not United We Stand. We don't claim that as an Avengers cartoon.
But my point is that he was kind of the face of that group or one of the characters of that show.
That arcade game came out well before the cartoon.
So years ago, in town, there was a guy that they might have him in your town, where they have classic arcade games, and you can go play them for like $5 for all day or something like that. Oh. So a buddy of mine, his store, he opened up a store like that, and it went under. The business did not survive, but he had that Spider-Man arcade game that Ashley is talking about. And he says, "I'll sell it to you for $800."
Oh,
you should have taken it.
Oh,
because we can all afford an $800 arcade game. Yes, that's how it works.
Yeah, well, I didn't bite on it.
It's
but
an investment.
An investment. No, I've often said, and it's sad. Yeah.
They made the X-Men arcade game into a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, you can buy that on the store.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do that for the Spider-Man game.
Oh, I imagine they could. But one, it was $800. Two, it's a lot of real estate in your house. I mean, that takes up a lot of room. And three, if I'm ever going to have a video game cabinet in my house, it's got to be Ms. Pac-Man. I mean, that's I love Ms. Pac-Man. I mean, come on.
That's fair.
It's like the episode of Friends, right?
I mean, it's not an arcade unless there's a Ms. Pac-Man. And I can understand that.
And I would challenge all of you, because I have mad 30 years of experience, Ms. Pac-Man. I can lay down
whatever. Just yeah. I'm trying to talk smack. Whatever.
I will challenge all of you to a duel of the death. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right, Brad. Well, I've got like 2 months of experience on Fortnite. I'll kick your ass.
That is true. You will kick my ass in Fortnite, because if I go to Taco Bell too much, I've got a lot of Fortnites. Okay.
God.
Okay, we went there.
I did this.
What was Ashley's? Did we get to Ashley's first Spider-Man game yet?
Yes. What was Jack's?
What was yours, Ashley? I forget.
No, mine is the arcade game.
Oh, the arcade. That's right. Okay,
yeah.
Jack, what's yours?
Okay, mine was it was mentioned already, but the Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge on the Genesis specifically.
That was such a bad
that
game.
One came out on the Super Nintendo too. I remember that.
Yeah, it did.
And the we always call it the PS1 Spider-Man game, but it came out on N64. Damn it! And I played it on N64.
I played. They have it right here.
I have it
with the red cartridge.
Whoa!
Yes.
Oh!
All right, hold up. We're showing off stuff.
Crap out of it.
Hold on.
So much.
Hey Jack, when you played that game, did you just beat the Spider-Man levels and then never play it? I mean, did you even play the X-Men characters? Because when I played that game, I just did Spider-Man. That was it.
Wolverine. I like playing as in that one game because he had I was so used to his yellow costume from the cartoons, so seeing him in the brown dark costume was interesting for me as a kid. I was like, what is this? Wow. And I remember Cyclops' levels being like easy at very first because his I-beams were so cheap, and then it got really hard really fast.
And then why did Storm was always underwater?
I always find it disappointing that he never screamed out Jean whenever he shot his lasers. that was a missing detail I thought they should have included.
By the way, Brad,
it's buried deep in my cabinet over here, but I found this. Remember this one, the sequel?
Yeah.
PlayStation 2. I also got a handful of my PlayStation 2 games. Who would like to see these?
No, hey, Brad. No.
We've got Wolverine, Wolverine's Revenge,
Brad,
X-Men Legends.
George, we need you now.
The Hulk movie game, which was awful.
Jesus Christ, Douglas.
We've got Ultimate Spider-Man.
Douglas. So
remember here, I'm going to put my camera up full screen. There we go. Ultimate Spider-Man.
George, we need you now.
Remember this?
Get on here.
This is now an unboxing channel.
There we go. Remember this?
All the fingers to you, Douglas.
This was a good game. Remember Punisher?
Here, I mean, I'll counter with this shitty piece of plastic.
Now, all right. Now, this is what made me buy my first PlayStation right here. Spider-Man 1. I never had a PlayStation 1, but what I did was when I bought a PlayStation 2, it was backwards compatible. So I bought Spider-Man 1 for the PlayStation 2 and Spider-Man 2. By the way, when was this released? 2002? Never beat the game.
Really?
I never beat that game. I never beat Spider-Man 2. I never beat either one of these. I did beat that one.
Yeah.
You remember that one.
You fail. So that game cabinet that you balked at for $800?
No, I didn't. Oh, I should go back to that story. I did not buy it for $800. It's in someone else's basement.
Okay, so I just looked online for Vintage Arcade Superstore.
Okay, how much were they asking for it?
$2,095.
Wow, I could.
You could have had that was a steal.
So I could have flipped the video game cabinet. That should be a
$100.
But here's the thing, Brad. When the market price went up, you would have been like, "No, it's Spider-Man memorabilia," and you never.
See, Neil knows me. I don't get Spider-Man crap away at all. I hold on to it like a hoarder.
What happens if I see you on like TLC one day?
Okay, so
the intervention.
We're entering the Douglas household.
The Spider-Man Happy Meal, Brad. Do you really need it?
I can't part with it.
Give it to Brad. Give it to Brad. He needs his protein.
Remember the heart? Do you remember the Hardee's Happy Meal with 3D glasses and the Amazing Friends?
Oh.
Do you remember that? Come on now. We all remember that from '83. Several of you weren't born then.
I don't remember it. I wasn't alive back then.
Neither was I.
Seriously, go to YouTube. Dan Gilvezan and Kathy Kathy.
You interviewed these people,
Kathy Garver. I did interview them. By the way,
episode 300.
By the way, Iceman gave me the cold shoulder. I never got Iceman. Okay, so there you go. I'm here all week. Good thing it's only
okay. Vinkman is like, you are stalling.
I was just going to say, Vinkman is wanting our cons of the game.
Before we do that,
no,
I have a pro, and I'll make it quick. Going off of Jack's point of the theme of what does it mean to be a hero, this game also does a very good job at covering the theme of sacrifice. Like, a lot of characters have to make really personal choices and make a lot of sacrifices to make their to make things go down, especially in the end.
That's true.
Yes. But now we get to go to the fun part.
I want to start with Neil because you have more cons than anybody else.
He's full of crap.
He's full of cons, not crap.
Get out of here, Zach.
What's your biggest con? Okay, well,
Zach has now left the stage.
Since he's gone, let me give you more PlayStation titles I have. So I've got this game, and Zach's going to PlayStation.
Douglas.
Zach, you made this worse.
Go ahead, Neil. What's your biggest cons?
Okay, so for one, the physics engine. When you are swinging, the swinging is beautiful. I love the swinging, but like when you web zip to a building, there's this weird moment where you like touch the wall, and there's like this weird pause when you run on the wall. It kills the momentum for me. Like it and that kind of it goes into the combat system. We'll get to that later, but when you stop them, I don't like it when you have to stop the momentum. There's a certain flow that goes to a Spider-Man game, and when you have to stop to make that. Zach's like giving me this uncomfortable glare.
I think he's just constipated. He's got some Mr. Negative in him. Yeah.
But when this Spider-Man has always been a character that works when he's building a momentum. And when in a game when you're playing him, when the momentum is killed, it feels really awkward.
So are you talking about when he swings, he goes down a little low, and then you have to zip web,
like when you fire a web at a building and then you pull yourself towards it. I mean, when you touch it, there's this really weird. It's brief, but it's very awkward. It's a pause where you stop and then you kind of start running again.
Okay, well, it's better than Spider-Man 1 where you're just swinging from the clouds.
We call that moon. That's moon swinging.
Moon. Here, look at this. By the way, can you see this? This kind of gives me like a split face.
Oh God!
As someone that complained about my use of props, you need to quit.
I'll just do the show like this. Okay, go ahead.
But another thing that gets into me is the combat system. We had a discussion about this on the Discord. But I can pull it up. But something that we mentioned, it was Symbiote Bro and I kind of led the conversation, but not really, was that during the combat, like when you're fighting, it's good until you have to start opening the gadget wheel, and then the gadget wheel is like really clunky and it opens. It's a technical thing, but the gadgets completely interrupt the flow of the gameplay. And
I can understand that.
I would agree a bit on that. The only gadget I think, because I haven't played with but a couple of them, but my favorite gadget is the Web Blossom. I think that stops the most amount of people.
Yes, that's not a gadget. That's a you press the 2 sticks.
I think he means the web bomb. There is a gadget called the web bomb.
I think the web bomb is the gadget. The web blossom is the.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
The
only gadgets I use are the electric shock one.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played with many of the gadgets.
Taser webbing.
Taser
webbing. It is taser webbing.
Taser webbing. Okay.
But I've unlocked all the gadgets, Brad. The one that kind of just is odd. There's 2 that are odd to me. The anti-gravity one is very odd.
No, that's an ability, isn't it?
No, he's talking about the suit ability, right? Unless you mean the grav suspend.
Yeah, the suspend, like the one where you suspend the people up in the air.
Okay.
That's the only one I find.
What's the most helpful gadget?
The web bomb.
Okay.
I like the straight up web shooters because when you knock someone down, you can instantly web them to the ground.
Yeah, the web shooters and the web bombs are probably 2 of the best. The one that you wouldn't think would be really useful is the drones. You can activate the little drones, especially if you've got a lot of people you're fighting in those like.
It's gonna take your mind off it.
Yeah, and like you've got the drones. What was the other
web
one?
trigger?
My favorite one's the concussive force one, especially when I'm on a roof.
When you can, the concussive force,
and then just
But that one also is not Spider-Man at all.
Zach, you're going off topic a little bit. Let's go back to Neil.
But one of the more
bigger cons.
This isn't related to the story, is the aesthetic of the game. Now, I know people have kind of gotten over the advanced suit with the jackassy white spider, but a lot of the game tries too hard to be realistic. Like, the Dr. Octopus costume is actually probably one of the best Dr. Octopus designs I've ever seen. But costumes like Electro's really clunky and bulky jacket and Scorpion's god-awful face design without
that's from the comics.
Well, I know, but we're talking about like those giant red eyes on the mask. They look.
I would still prefer that Electro design over Jamie Foxx.
That is fair, but like it's just a big like they tried too hard to be like realistic. Like there's plenty of ways to make the original Scorpion costume look good in a modern day setting, but they tried too hard to go for this really bulky, like overly bulky. Tactical. We'll go with tactical.
That was lifted straight off the Ramos design.
Yes, but it was.
That's right from the comics.
I know, but it doesn't translate well to real life. Like they try to make this game as realistic as possible, and we have always said that Ramos works best as a cartoonist.
Yeah, that's true.
What's I did like the Vulture design. Whenever the Miles and MJ stealth missions and the Miles missions, those completely interrupt the flow of the game.
They kind of do, yeah.
Go ahead.
There's times where playing as there's that scene where Miles is going to the feast center for the first time. I think we kind of needed that, but at the same time, it completely interrupt the missions where you play as the side characters interrupt the flow because you're always doing like the spectacular web slinging, which I love. I could never get enough of the web slinging.
But going around and hacking things as Miles is just.
But I think that was designed specifically to interrupt the flow of the game. That was deliberate by the designers.
Which kind of worked against them.
What, Ashley?
Well, counterpoint, it's introducing variety. So, you won't find yourself, if you have a huge stretch where you're playing a Spider-Man and doing a lot of swinging, then it kind of gives you a short break where you're doing more stealth missions. And it kind of helps keep one from where I'm at in the game. I think they are really strategically placed, especially the ones with MJ, because it comes at a logical point in the story where, she's like, oh, hey, Peter, I was doing this. Let me fill you in. And instead of having a cutscene where we just have a lot of exposition delivered through dialogue or, another.
It's showing, not telling.
We get to, exactly. And it provides a variety of gameplay experience as well.
I think it's really funny as we're talking about this. I can see in the reflection Jack is actually playing the game.
But I wouldn't have a problem with these side missions, like where you play as the other supporting characters, if it didn't grind the pacing of the game to a halt. That's my problem with it. Is that like you kind of have like it's like a slot comic. Every time you start,
the pacing always be fast all the time. You do need some moments where the pacing slows down a bit.
The problem isn't like the plot slowing down. It's just like when it just runs into a wall.
Yeah. I will say this: the best of those side missions is the last MJ mission. Without going into too much into the spoiler realm, but actually
the Norman part
with at Norman's apartment, I think the stakes in that particular mission were probably the highest, and I think they were trying to increase the stakes each time. But it made me okay. You know, I would play this thing for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it was a good flow interrupter for me because it had been 0 to 60 this whole time, and then suddenly I have to brakes.
I will add to the stealth missions introduce suspense where there really can't be any when you're Spider-Man, and you, for the most part, you're pretty indestructible. You're very. You're very strong. You can take out pretty much anyone. When you have the stealth missions, it introduces this element of there's more of a threat because you're very vulnerable. And so it kind of amps up the suspense of the game. So there's more
Spider-Man stealth missions. You're not vulnerable. Very powerful.
That reminded me of one of my favorite parts of the game is where he got evicted and you had to go get your apartment belongings. I think that was, that Parker Luck. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, they did the Parker Luck right.
So my absolute biggest con of the game is I loathe the electric flow puzzles. Every time you had the option to skip it, BD skipped it. I hate that thing because I'd turn the thing and then I'd cuss and then I'd delete them off the pad and then I'd turn them.
That's because Brad doesn't want to sit there and use his brain. He just wants to mindlessly.
No. Well, you guys talked about how the flow was killed. I tell you what, it was backed up. It was so dead when that happened. Every time I got
those are the science parts of being Pete.
Well, it's not a science guy.
Brad Douglas is not the gadget guy. Did not like playing with gadgets.
No, I don't like the science. No, I like punching.
Spider-Man.
Look at it. Think of it this way: the Spider-Man parts make you feel like you really get to feel like you're Spider-Man.
Damn it,
Jack! Make you feel like you're Spider-Man, and the science parts.
Did you like those parts, Ashley? The science electric parts?
I love puzzles.
Oh,
yes. I actually did enjoy those. For me,
not me, brother. How do you even figure those out? Like
by using your brain. It's adding and subtracting
together to get the value you want.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's adding and subtracting? What?
Okay, once
you spin the damn thing till it lights up. That's what you do.
Once
you get the circuit, you see numbers. Inside the circuit, you see numbers like 3, 1, or
no.
3,
there's numbers in there.
Yes.
Wait, I don't think Brad got to the ones where you have to calculate the voltage.
No, Brad.
No, I did. I saw one was 6 and one was 3.
Oh, he's like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to take the ball.
I praise and loathe the developers for one, putting that in the game. I don't like it. I praise them for having a skip function. Because I would be still on chapter 1 with that damn spinning circuit board. I hate that thing.
Oh, that's just because you never mind. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I have a couple of cons.
I just read the YouTube comments.
Okay, real quick. I just want to say, the reason I yelled "damn it" was because I wanted us to be the first guys reviewing this game to get all the way through it without saying it makes you feel like Spider-Man, and Ashley failed us.
The Arkham review
like
from
Peter
IGN.
Parker as well. Who said that? Who has said the game makes you feel like Peter Parker?
It doesn't matter.
Hey, you guys are 1 week into marriage. You don't have your first fight. To be
broadcast all over the internet.
Oh, Lord.
Ashley, I think Jack's concern is that he doesn't want to end up like PSN, like IGN doing the Arkham games. Like Arkham makes you feel like Batman. You don't want to look like that.
So one of the cons that a member from Texas often said of this game was the white spider on the chest. Is that a con for anybody?
No, kind of.
Okay, Neil, why is it a con for you?
Because it doesn't go like all the way around. Like if it was like the symbiote suit where the spider went all the way around and ended at the back.
Does it not go on the back?
It has one on the back, but it's not the same.
It's a separate spider.
Oh, okay.
But if it had been like the black suit and and had like all the legs together.
Oh.
And it would have been a lot better flowing.
Symbio Bro hates the advanced suit. It's bad, boo. He says in YouTube.
Here's the thing about the advanced suit for me is that so quickly you could switch that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you can be any suit you want for this game, and you can switch it almost instantly.
Like most video games, when you play it, you have to go through it all just to get like the suit that you want. From the very get-go of this game. You play as the classic suit, and when you start to, change into that Examic suit that nobody likes, I mean,
I like
it. I don't dislike
people do like it, especially cosplayers do like it. You have the choice to actually use that suit or don't use that suit. You don't have to use it.
I agree that was a very good choice that you could have the option.
Here's the thing. Everybody's like, but it was in all the marketing. It's in the comics. Like, oh my God. Okay, here's the thing.
What was that again?
That's certain people throwing temper tantrums. Okay, here's the thing. Insomniac created that design. That is their design. They're the ones developing this game. I get why people are throwing a little temper tantrum about it because it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be unique to this universe, right? It's supposed to be something that differentiates it from the rest of the other Spider-Man games that came before it. And so, I was channeling Dr. Fink. Thank you.
From a marketing standpoint, it's very clever in that whenever you see that Spider-Man with the white suit, white chest,
yes,
that's the PlayStation Spider-Man.
And so many people I know that played with the classic suit all day long. Include like the classic suit, the cartoon suit looks awesome. We haven't even gotten into all the suits yet.
Yeah,
but I think this kind of does go to my one con in that everything is seamless with whatever suit you're wearing throughout the entire story.
Yep.
Until you get to the last cutscene before the Doc Ock battle. That was my one con about the game.
You mean you could? Because I
was talking about.
So like if you're in, I was in the Scarlet Spider suit for a good chunk of the game.
No,
shocking.
Get out.
Zach.
Yeah, me, of course.
That's hysterical.
So
why was that?
I was wearing that suit, and
so the cutscene is the white suit.
It goes back to the white suit when he's designing the auto suit.
Okay,
that was the one time that I felt like the cutscenes, because everything else with the cutscenes, it didn't matter what suit you were wearing. The cutscenes were in there, and you were wearing that suit.
Yep.
In every other Spider-Man game I've ever played, it is you're in whatever the default suit is. That is what the cutscene is, and that's what made it so seamless for me.
That's an interesting topic. So Zach played the game mostly as a Scarlet Spider. Neil, what suit did you wear the most?
Honestly, I just stuck with the advanced one just because it felt like they advertised it that way, so I felt maybe I should play it that way.
Peter, what suit did you play the most of?
I played the classic suit because once I found out, I mean, I would have given the Examic suit, a chance, but they said that it was part of the story. And once I found out why that story-driven suit was being graded for, I said no. I'm like, no, because in this, that goes to one of my cons is that why I got an A- is that Peter and Doc Ock have this really good relationship where to me it should have been Dr. Connors, especially, regrowing limbs and stuff like that. I think that's where Slott had a hand in this game.
I see. I just disagree. I think they took the mentorship of Spider-Man 2 and expanded upon it.
I will side with Zach on that because Otto is developing cybernetics. It wouldn't make sense with Osborn, because Osborn and Otto
or Connor, Dr. Connors.
Well, no, this is it's the contrast between Osborn and Otto is genetics and cybernetics.
You couldn't have that same rivalry between Connors and Osborn. Is that what you're saying?
They would be two people that were completely similar because Peter, they both work in genetics.
Did you not like the white spider suit because Ock created it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's basically why. And you see a lot of. I mean, if they make a sequel to this game, and I think they pretty much are going to.
It's a sure thing.
I hope so.
I can see Superior Spider-Man showing up.
Well, they obviously are going to talk about symbiotes.
Oh yeah, that's probably
That's probably why we don't have the black suit.
That is a con to me, though. That should be in the.
I will say this: the white spider does not really bother me as much as it does like George. Mm-hmm. The problem I have is like those other bulky white bits that like. I don't specialize in character design, but I have been learning.
Oh, the white on the hand.
But like there's all these different bits of like bulk that cover the arms and the legs of the suit, and all these weird like Jim Lee style extra lines. Like remember when Superman was redesigned for the New 52, all those extra lines that were totally unnecessary. That's where my problems kind of lie with the Spider-Man costume, because Spider-Man's costume works because it is elegant in its simplicity. It is streamlined to perfection. There, you can keep that costume. It's been there for 50 years. Mm-hmm. There has been no need to change it unless it's like for Superior, which meant a character change. And when you introduce that suit, it doesn't fit with the streamlined web slinger that we are all familiar with, and it just doesn't work in a physical sense.
I can't name another superhero that has so many different costumes.
Iron Man.
Yeah, okay. You fixed it. All right. But the sheer amount of Spider-Man costumes is crazy.
Yeah, well,
it started with the black suit. Yeah.
Can we go through?
Not yet, because I want to hear Ashley and Jack what costume they played, and then we'll go to the different suits. But go ahead, Ashley. What did you play the most in?
Well, we've got the 2099 equipped right now. As soon as I unlocked that one, I'm like, this is it.
You're playing that one? Okay.
I played with the Noir a good bit. What did I have before that?
The dark suit.
Oh, right, the dark suit. The one.
What's the
one you get from the Felicia, the Black Cat side mission.
That was, to me, that was the opportunity. That is the other con for me. That was the opportunity to introduce the black suit, and it's just
I didn't care.
How does it make sense? How would Felicia get a suit?
Because she showed him several of those black costumes.
Oh yeah, back in the 80s when he got rid of the symbiote.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think too, we don't know the full history that's there yet. We don't know what they're keeping from the comic history and what they've adapted into their own universe here. So Jack, I don't know how much they could have.
Yeah, Jack, what suit are you playing the most?
I switch over to like Noir or something, but after getting the advanced suit, I felt like playing in the advanced suit because it's what I saw in all the trailers.
Yeah.
It felt like it was the most lore accurate. So as I was going through the story, I told myself, feel like I was doing this game's story if I wasn't in that suit. So I was going to wait until after I finished the story to change my suit.
I'm pretty much with Jack on that. I've played most all of the game as the White Spider advanced suit. I did switch to the Ben Reilly costume for just a little bit in honor of Zach to take a selfie.
Thanks.
And then I immediately put the hoodie away. I also got in the Felicia's suit. No, that sounds bad. No, I meant. Wait a minute.
Crawl spacers.
No, what was?
I'm calling dibs.
Well, I mean, you instantly change into that suit. Like I didn't have a choice after I finished the mission. So kind of like with the Doc Ock suit, you don't have a choice to change. What were we saying, Zach? All the different suits that are available. You want to read?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to list them off, and
okay.
we'll kind of go around the room. Obviously, the advanced suit we've kind of We've kind of talked about that.
Real quick, if I power up that suit, does it transfer to my other suits, or am I just?
Yes, every suit you unlock, you can unlock the suit powers for whatever suit that is.
I mean, like my advanced suit I played most. You what?
You can only have one. Every time you unlock a suit, you unlock its suit power, and you can swap those out at will. But you can only ever have one suit power on at a time.
Yeah.
What's the advanced suit's power?
Well, I've got a list. So
no. Before
was it Web Blossom? I think it was Web Blossom.
Before we jump into the suit listings, Ashley brought up a good point about how we don't know everything about it, and that's one of my cons with the story is that it kind of just leaps in without really explaining. Like it has a built-in world that that Spider-Man fans will get, but they don't really go into like and I know they can't really do it because it would take way too long to recap all of the history of this world. But at the same time, it kind of just assumes that we will collect everything and just kind of leaves it gives us kind of drip feeds us information, which kind of works, but at the same time it's also kind of like the vanilla campaign of Destiny, where there was no explanation for what was going on, and they just kind of left the reader to either fill in the gaps or the gamer to fill in the gaps themselves with either the grimoire, with either the index, or just make it up themselves as they go. And I think that was a big problem in terms of the storytelling.
Yeah. I think not having Doc Ock grow as a character was very compelling as a story, but I also think it kind of makes you tilt your head a little to the side because you've got Sandman, obviously, you've got the Nazi skeleton covered in bees and swarm.
What is Doc Ock's motivation for hating Spider-Man?
I think it's just the little chip in the back of his head driving him insane, and also he's getting away with Osborn.
Is it because
towards the end of the game, I think yes, that was a big cause of it, but by the end of the game, he has a hatred for Peter, specifically because he feels Peter abandoned him because Peter, basically was like, you can't do this, Otto. Quit being a douche, and so that becomes, I think, his motivation. You'll find out more, Brad, whenever you get to the
very, very end. Yes. Like, I'm still fighting Doc Ock. That's where
there's one spoiler that I want to bring up so bad. And if you know me as anybody that's listened to me on this show for an extended period of time knows how I feel about Aunt May, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil Brad. But anyway,
I've already been spoiled. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
She doesn't know. I was about to tell her to run away.
Run away, Ashley.
So, here's a spoiler for Star Wars Episode 7. So I was reading through the comments on Facebook some a while back, right before that movie came out, and some jerk did an animated GIF of Han Solo dying. Before I saw the movie. It wasn't Mark Waid. So I was.
Let's just all agree not to talk about that bit.
Yeah,
Ashley, come back.
No. I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about the bit real quick. Don't have Ashley stay out.
Okay, hold on.
One sec. So as I was saying, I have been spoiled about what Zach is talking about. So I haven't seen it yet, but I think I know Aunt May dies because I saw the gravestone image.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I guess that's true, right?
Yes. And it's an incredibly well written scene, and it tears you apart. But
I teared up. I did.
Like you feel Peter, like when he's like grabbing the IV and he's like he's pulled away. You're like, and he goes, "Ugh!"
Yeah,
you feel for that.
You feel his anguish, but the fact that Aunt May dies in this game instantly elevates this game so much higher than it probably deserves to be. Because I will say this: I liked Aunt May in this game because she actually served a focus. I liked the fact that she freaking knew he was Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't know that, you bastard! Oh, did she pull a Captain Stacy on him?
She pulled an ASM 400.
Yep.
Oh, but she was an old actress? What?
No, ASM 400.
Where she what?
Remember in ASM 400 right before she died on the top of the Empire State Building?
What?
She revealed, Aunt May reveals to Peter that she knew for years that he was Spider-Man.
Oh, I guess I forgot about that. Okay.
It was like the best part of that issue. Because
but she was an actress.
Because she basically
she was an actress.
Second star.
F you, Mark. Or F you, Bob Harris. Okay.
That was second start to the right straight on until morning.
It goes down after I kick Doc Ock's ass. I mean, God bless.
So, all right, let's go through the suits. Let's bring Ashley.
Okay, Ashley, come back, Jack. Sorry.
But yeah, I was surprised they had the balls to do that.
Yeah, when somebody kept saying they had some balls.
Maybe when they have their own separate universe, they can do what they want.
Well, I know, but like they have this such big apprehension of letting Peter.
I thought you were going to say they have such giant balls.
Bulging.
They have. They have man-size or giant-sized man-thing balls.
But this apprehension...
I'm so sorry, Ashley.
She's not even there yet.
This apprehension about letting Peter grow through the loss of his loved ones. And that gut-wrenching moment where you realize, holy crap, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That completely
she's coming back.
Okay. The fact that they pulled the trigger on it was
silence.
Ashley is back. Okay.
All right. So let's go through the suits.
Ashley's ears are getting covered. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through the suits.
Let's hear the suits.
All right. Spider-Man PS4 Advanced suit. It was an original suit designed for the game. When you complete the story mission, something new or something old, something new. Suit power is battle focus, which focus regenerates rapidly for a short period of time. You have the classic suit, which is damaged, which I didn't feel was damaged enough.
Yes,
that is a bit of a con on that one, but that's why after you complete the first mission, and you gain. There is no suit power that's gained with that suit. The classic suit that's repaired gives you the Web Blossom suit power. Where Spider-Man leaps up in the air and goes crazy with his web shooters.
Now, I have had that suit. Does that carry over to my advanced suit?
You can use it for the advanced suit as well.
Okay, I see what's going on. Okay.
All right, so then you have the Noir suit. It requires 2 backpack tokens and a base token. The suit power is a sound of silence, so for a short period of time, your enemies won't call for backup when you alert them.
You also hear Art Garfunkel and...
Hello, darkness, my friend.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, the way you said that was actually really scary. Please don't do that ever again.
The sound of silence, and that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making a joke, but I can't get the reference.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is looks like you're something out of the Rocketeer.
Simon and Garfunkel.
It comes from the first appearance in the comics of Spider-Man Noir in 2009. This website gets the Scarlet Spider suit wrong, first appearance wrong. It was Web 118, not Web of Scarlet Spider #1, you drunken people.
Is this IGN?
No, this is a Game Revolution. So,
they're cancer. Why are you there?
Well, I just typed in. I typed in advanced suit list, and that's what I'm using. So, all right. And they even misspelled Jackal on this. They are a cancer.
Oh my god!
Back to Noir real quick. He's got a gun.
The monkey's got a gun.
Of all the websites Zach chose to read, they hate the Clone Saga and they get all the references wrong. You can't write this.
So the info is: remember when Spider-Man was cloned by the Jackal misspelled? Me neither, but it happened. Spider-Man can don Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider suit once you hit level 4.
I'm surprised they didn't say Bob Riley or something like that. They get all the names wrong.
Zach, before we go further this list, I want you to back out of there and find a different website right now. Because we're already this far in.
Okay,
we're not even that far in.
I'm at Screen Rant now, so let's just go with Screen Rant.
I want to point out that Jack just got that the Scarlet Spider suit power was the Holo Decoys, their clones.
Yes,
and I hate them.
The bag of flour power.
Yeah, that was.
I just got that joke just now.
I mean, the power is basically once you activate the power, it's just holographic Spider-Man's going, "Hi, I'm me. Hi, I'm me." like a bad guy's going to actually say, okay, yeah, we're going to go after this guy by waving.
When you guys said the bag of flour,
I'm pretty freaking dumb.
I had to laugh during the game. When you go into like the construction site, you can get like a bag, and when you throw it around, it looks like a bag of flour.
It's a bag of concrete.
It's concrete, but every time I swung one of those, I thought of you, Zach. I'm like, I'm throwing bags of flour, baby.
I hate that meme. It is such a stupid meme. You're about to get me off. All right,
Zach. Okay, actually, guys, maybe
I do not want to get you off.
You have to set me off.
Set you off. I don't want to do any of that.
Maybe before we piss off Zach, let's remember that I live like less than 3 hours away from him, and you can find out where I live and kill me before I have time to.
You didn't do anything wrong. He's wanting to go to Missouri to kill somebody. I tell you.
All right. Anyway, so the Scarlet Spider suit, you get it after the level 4. It does have the holo decoy, which is a fun joke, which I guess Jack just now got. The Spider Mark, and then we have the Spider Armor Mark II suit, since it was like a bulletproof power. Magnetically polarized armor plating makes the suit temporarily bulletproof against all enemies, even snipers. This can be useful in hectic situations when clearing bases. Then we have the Secret War suit, which the Spider Armor suit, that was from the Massacre arc with Marcos Martin, which is one of my least favorite suit designs in this game. I just hate how the eyes look. It just looks terrible.
Yeah, I like the chest of Spider. That was cool. And I don't know, I'm a sucker for Tron lines on costumes, and we'll talk about that with the big time suit. But
yeah, and I like how they broke up on the Scarlet Spider suit. Like, there's different textures, so it's not just like a big giant,
polygon block.
Yeah, basically. Then you have the Secret War suit, which is looks like, it reminds me of the Spider Sense that you used to see on the 90s show when they would do the Spider Sense. They would like invert the colors and stuff. It's basically that brought to life. It's from the Secret War series. Comes with the arms race power, discharges amplified EMP buildup to stun enemies and disable their weapons. Then you have the
power.
Then you have the Stark suit, which was based off the Homecoming / Civil War suit. And this it comes with the Spider Bro drone, which is actually kind of useful. I've used it a couple of times. Then we have the negative suit, which they want to call it the negative zone suit in certain places, but that's not the negative zone suit, because the negative zone suit from Spider-Man 90 was actually just an inverted version of the classic suit, but it had no web lines. So this is just basically like if Mr. Negative touched the advanced suit. And it comes with the negative shockwave power, which is a lot of what the demon goons do to you. This is a deep cut. The electrically insulated suit is from Amazing Spider-Man 425, and I'm pulling these numbers out of my butt. So if I'm getting them wrong, I apologize.
It's Steve Scroce. Steve Scroce, right?
Yeah, Steve Scroce designed the suit. It was designed.
Who also was a designer on the Matrix movie.
There you go.
He was an Amazing Spider-Man penciler before the Matrix.
But this was
got Spider knowledge.
Yeah, that.
When we don't have JR, I'll
say
you'll
this.
try to provide that.
I'll say this: the perk for the Homecoming suit should have been the Mr. Stark I don't feel so good drum.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway,
that suit should have had Karen in it.
Stop.
Anyways, so but that was only used in that one issue, and it was destroyed in that issue as well. But Kit bashed high discharge capacitors, temporarily electrified gauntlets, electrifying enemies. The Spider-Punk suit was you could get that as a DLC download.
That was one of my, because I pre-ordered from Best Buy, and I got that one, the Avengers suit. And something else. Yeah, I hate the Spider-Punk. I just don't like that punk.
Let me ask this: is the suit unlockable through normal gameplay, or do you have to have a pre-order bonus?
No. It's a level 16 is when it's unlocked. So you have to have 3 backpack tokens and 3 crime tokens and a couple landmark tokens. One of the more unique costumes in the game, Spider-Punk suit gives players an uncharacteristic rock-out power. It blasts enemies with waves of righteous sound, bro.
Hate that one.
It pulls out a gun. Yeah. Then we have the wrestling suit from Ultimate Spider-Man number 3. In combat, webbing brutes and swinging down around is an easy way to get out of a hairy situation. The wrestler suit's King of the Ring power. Web throw enemies without having to web them up. Makes it a tad easier, especially if players are waiting for their web shooters to refill. Fear Itself suit, which is where he has like this blue and black suit, which I don't even remember this, but it was in Spider-Man Fear Itself. This was unlocked at level 21. Especially the quad damage power, assistive nano muscleclature temporary deals massive damage. That deal extra damage, which is why Spidey's gauntlets appear bigger than normal. Then we have the Ramos designed stealth big time suit, which Neil will like because it looks like Tron, affectionately known as the Tron suit. That was from ASM
651.
Yeah, 651, 649, 651. I can't remember. Then we have the Ends of the Earth spider armor suit.
Real quick on the stealth suit, I'm sad that it doesn't turn to like red because I always like
the invisible. I'm sad you can't go invisible either. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like that, it creates a distortion field so it can obscure you from non-enemies.
Well, okay, but then again, the turning invisible would make.
We're losing Neil.
We lost Neil for a second. Guys. But here's the thing about it: we already have there's a mission in the game where you turn invisible.
Hang on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're back. Your internet cut out. Well, keep going through the suits. We'll ask. I just thought of something we can go around the horn real quick to ask. But go ahead, Zach.
Okay, so we got the Mark III, which is the multiple spider armor suits, which is referred to as the Ends of the Earth suit. The dynamic semi-liquid smart metal crystallizes to reflect all bullets except for sniper rounds back at shooters. You got the Spider-Man. They call it the black suit in this screening rant, but it's actually the blue and red suit, the classic Spider-Man 29 suit. You unlock this at level 29. Yeah, they're drunk. This is comes with a low-level gravity power, decreased gravity while in the air. Then you have the Iron Spider suit, which is from the Infinity War, which unlocks the 4 extra arms.
Those were worthless to me. I didn't think they helped anything.
They look cool, but other than that, they don't really do it.
They don't do much. Like I thought they would take 4 guys out.
What it is you can take out like regular guys in like 2 or 3 hits, so you can take them out a lot faster. But there isn't much of an AOE effect, which would have been nicer.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Hang on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We just can't see you. There you are.
Okay, hang on.
All right.
Okay. So I think my internet went down for a minute.
Yeah.
It's all right. So then we got the Velocity suit, which was designed by Insomniac. Doesn't come with any unique powers or abilities. It's simply unlocked for cosmetic reasons only. It's just
what's the Velocity suit? I remember that one.
It's the one
ability. Zach, this is the one where you can run around and knock people over.
Oh, that's right. So they got this wrong, Screen Rant. You screwed up.
It's ability. Man, they're calling $20.99 the black suit. Who are these people?
Dude, this is the second website I've pulled up, and they both suck. All right, so this is like the blue. It's got also
slight possible deep cut. The Velocity suit's mask looks a lot like the assassin suit from that What If, where Peter teamed up with Wolverine.
That was a assassin. Good one.
In fact, I thought the dark suit was that suit at first, and then I looked up that What If, and I was like, oh no, wait, it looks the dark suit looks completely different from that assassin suit.
Yeah.
But the mask for this looks a lot like that.
It does. It does very much so. And then we have the Parker Industries suit, which I will say looks so much better in this game because they didn't make the spider overly. They took that glow effect off the spider. It's almost as if they listened to the show.
It's still there.
It's just
like really downplayed.
It's very downplayed.
I'm gonna have to agree on that.
It looks so much better in this game than it ever did. It's almost as if they, listen to the show. But it looks really good. It has the shield defense shield power, which is an experimental magnetic weave, generates an energy shield that temporarily absorbs all damage instead of deflecting or reflecting it. Then we get the trippiest suit on the entire game, which is the Spirit Spider, which makes me slightly uncomfortable because of the way the muscles are, and I
thought you were going to talk about the underwear suit. That one's weird.
That one is weird, but it's perhaps the most unique costume in the game. Spirit Spider suit heavily resembles Spider-Man's Ghost Rider. Comes with the Spirit Firepower. This is actually from an annual, I think, a couple of years ago, or crossover with Hulk and Ghost Rider. Then we have the new Spider-Man 2999 suit, which actually looks really good in this game.
The white one.
The white one.
the problem with the 2099 suit, I think, was always like Will Sliney's design of it. Well, the design is great. Like, if you look at concept designs, it looks phenomenal. But it's just like Will Sliney's art doesn't translate well for that costume.
I also think it's not necessarily the art. I think it's somewhat the coloring, because they try to add like the Neo, like
the glowing red,
the glowing red and the glowing blue kind of just overpowered that suit. But like the Marvel Legends figure and this on the actual game actually looks really good.
Is that all the suits? We're
not done yet.
Hurry!
All right, so we got the vintage comic suit, which is basically like looks like it's
this thing's hilarious.
It is hilarious just because it has the Brad, you'll appreciate this. One, it looks like it's a comic book in this real world.
I just unlocked that one. I haven't used it yet, but it looks very comic booky.
Oh, like if you look at if you do a close up on the eyes, it's got the little dots like
that's funny.
Inside the eyes, and also its suit power is quips.
Oh, quips!
It's
the MCU in a single costume.
It literally is insult your enemy's pride, but it's not like it doesn't do much, but it is hilarious.
It charges really quickly, and every time you use it, he says some new hilarious line. It's just tons of fun.
So we got a couple more. The last stand suit is one of the last suits you unlock. It's a level 45.
ASM 600.
500.
500, yeah.
Then you have the anti-ox suit, which was designed specifically for the game. Then you have the undies suit, which unlocks after completing the main story and gives you the equalizer power. Everyone goes down in one hit, including you, but it does really put everyone in equal footing.
That's fun.
It pays off. It comes from a gag that was in the actual game. If you get all the backpacks, you get the homemade suit from Homecoming, which is the third MCU costume. Then we have the dark suit that Felicia makes for Spider-Man that has it's all black except for red eyes and a couple of reds.
That was from Spider-Man Deadpool.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
It was the suit. It was the suit they used when tracking Itsy Bitsy and Patient Zero.
That's right.
There you go. So,
I don't know how I forgot.
And there is one other suit that they don't list on this list, but it is a hidden suit. So,
what is it?
There's a suit where Peter's wearing an ESU shirt and pants, but they basically took that and put the Spider-Man head from the from the undie suit and put it on that suit. So it was it's a hidden. It is, but even if you don't get that suit, if you unlock all the suits, you get the platinum trophy. So
good.
Where do you find that suit at, Jack?
When you get the secret landmarks, all 50 secret landmarks, then you unlock that suit.
Once I complete the game and I do all the side missions, will that unlock all the suits with the exception of that one you're talking about?
Yes and no.
I want that platinum trophy.
Here's the thing about that. When you do all the Taskmaster challenges, you will need to use all the challenge tokens and gather all the challenge tokens you can. I found myself upgrading all the gadgets. And as a result, by upgrading all the gadgets, I didn't have enough challenge tokens to unlock all the suits. I've got like 6 suits I have not unlocked yet.
I can tell you right now, as someone who's just doing that grind, to maximize all gadgets, get all suit mods, and unlock all suits, you do not need to get ultimate level. That's getting all 3 on every Taskmaster challenge. However, you do have to get ultimate on at least 75% of them and up to spectacular on the rest.
Yes.
You have to do pretty darn well. However, thankfully, I was able to ignore the drone challenges for the most part. I hated those.
I forget what level it is. There's low, medium, high. So, Jack, you have to get like in the middle level?
Oh, yeah. For what I did was, in order to be able to do this, I had the highest level on every combat challenge.
No, Jack, what are
the levels? The base minimum is amazing, and then the middle one is spectacular, and then the highest level is ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah, and totally I got amazing.
I could have sworn that easy was like friend neighborhood. Or is that the difficulty setting?
That's the difficulty settings.
These are the Taskmaster challenge.
Yes.
I got a couple more questions. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
One question I had for everybody, and I'll share my experience off the top. What is the one section of the game that you could not beat? Like you had to keep doing it and doing it again and again. The one thing that comes to my mind, with the exception of those god-awful puzzles that Ashley loves.
Brad. Yeah, well, that's a you problem, Brad.
That is a me problem.
That is a Douglas problem.
Thank God for the skips on that. My gosh. There is a section, I forget where it is, but you have to be stealthy. And it's in a circular build, or circular thing, and you had to go around the top level. Yep. And they had hostages with guns, and you had to take out at least a dozen dudes stealthy.
That was a taskmaster.
That was a task. That one, I literally played like an hour and a half and could not beat it. So that was mine. What was yours, Zach?
I had trouble on. I had trouble on the. I had a little trouble on that level, but I really had a lot of trouble with like the Rhino. But I think it was just because I was so tired, because I had literally been playing like 6 hours straight without like a break.
Miles died so many times when I did that. Running from the Rhino.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Scorpion Rhino fight together?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Miles hiding from the Rhino.
No. The Rhino Scorpion fight, and I had some trouble with the Electro Vulture fight too.
I only had to do that twice. I beat that one pretty quick.
The Vulture. I think I had more trouble with the Vulture Electro fight, but again, I think it was also the timing of when I was playing those. I was playing those so late, but like I say, those are the hardest ones for me. The drone challenges are difficult. I had some trouble with the stupid ass pigeons.
How have I gone through the game without doing many drone things? Everybody complains about these drones.
There's only like 4 or 5 missions, Jack, right? That are drone missions.
I'd say there's about. I think there's either 3 or 4 of every single type.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I think it's 4 of every type. So there's 4 drone challenges, 4 bomb, 4 combat, 4 stealth.
Yeah, and I think you do one drone mission that's like that's the first side mission you do, but that unlocks all the side missions.
Drone research station ones.
Yeah, and I will say this: couple of deep cuts. Philip Chang is a character in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Philip Chang from Parker Industries, the guy that's scarred.
Also, well, not just him. Remember, he's not just from Parker Industries. He was from the 80s. That wasn't his only appearances. He was a DSU student, and he's actually you do some side missions after everybody gets corrupted, and he's a character in the game. I'm like, that's a pretty deep cut. Like,
wait a minute. So Philip Chang was from the 80s, and then he was in the most recent Slot thing where his face was scarred?
Yep. Well, remember that this is Dan Slott, who plays continuity like it's porn.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't, and there is one other thing we didn't mention, Brad. I mentioned it earlier, but
yeah. Here, I know exactly what we'll hit that up before we wrap it up. Okay. Neil, the part that got you hung up the most.
The fight where you're fighting the inner demons on Mr. Negative, on that truck with Mr. Negative in it. That part, I don't know. It just feels like you're so restricted on top of that truck, and I always work it better in an open space where I have more room to maneuver.
Yeah.
And that tight space where if like you fall off, you're totally screwed.
Yeah.
That part drives me up a wall. I had to repeat that for like a solid half an hour.
I had problems with the helicopter falling a lot too. Like you had to line up you had to shoot the webs in between the 2 buildings and land the helicopter. That piece that fell off and was rolling towards the people, I could never stop that in time.
Did you let everyone die, Brad?
Several times, like they were Mary Jane and Ashley was playing.
It's like we're watching Brad Goblin throw Gwen Stacy off a bridge.
Oh yeah, this blonde broke many times. Snap, snap, snap all day long.
Wow.
Chi-Town, what's the part that got you stuck?
I hate those pigeons. I mean, I hate them a lot.
Those damn pigeons.
The drones one reminded me a lot of Batman Arkham, the AR challenges, which I actually enjoyed. I actually don't mind that. I don't like the bomb ones where you have to you're on a timer to get rid of those bombs. I played those a lot, and the one part that I get stuck on that I managed to get through, and I was like, thank God, was where MJ stealth thing where she's at Tombstone's layer.
Oh yeah,
I haven't played that.
I cursed that so many times. Like, MJ, what the fuck are you doing here? After I die.
Whoa! He's gonna have to put the E up.
Watch out, Pete. This is a Christian channel.
Oh my gosh! At least PG-13. Oh, well, PG-13 that you can have one F.
Yeah.
And we have it. Okay. Ashley, what part have you got stuck on?
Honestly, I think the hardest part for me was the beginning because I have a slow learning curve with games, so getting used to when I get bombarded with information and like, oh, do this and then do this and then you can do this and this. I'm like, slow down. So that first fight against Fisk was embarrassing. George would have been ashamed of me for all the times he said that Fisk should never pose a threat to Spider-Man. Yeah, he beat my ass pretty good.
Actually, did you die during that mission? Did you die a couple times? I literally, my first time that I died was when I faced Fisk gunmen during the very beginning.
Oh yeah, I died a lot with Fisk too. So don't worry.
Yeah. We watched you die a lot, Douglas.
Oh yeah, I did my first live stream.
Yeah.
That was hysterical when Brad saw Doc Ock was a part of the game. He's like, oh god.
Get your boy Brad a Twitch account.
Oh, that's funny.
You'll make some. You'll pay for the revenue for the bandwidth that way.
Well, I was shocked. I had like 50 people watch me play that game. It was okay, but I felt like I was performing because I just like the game and just concentrate. I felt like I had to have quippage like Spider-Man. That's when I was playing.
So, Brad had to equip the comic suit.
Yeah, there you go.
I will say there's some people were kind of griping about costumes that weren't in the game, like the original Spider armor and Ben Reilly, the black suit, and
also the Identity Crisis, the Hornet and all that. That was in the Amazing Spider-Man games.
Yes, but I also stress to everybody that there is probably about 9 more suits that are coming.
Yeah, because I would say 6, just because the DLC is coming out. Like, when's the first one coming out? The 7th of October. I don't think they probably had some of the DLC finished before they launched the game. But I don't think they put so much new content, like 3 new suits. Like, there are people still grinding for the new ones.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'd put like 9 suits in over the course of 3 DLCs.
Jack, what was the part in the game that got you stuck?
Only a couple things. One, actually, yes, in the very beginning with the boss fight with Fisk, I died, I think, twice. Yeah. Because the large enemy type that every enemy type has,
you gotta level them up.
The big guys, their reach is so long that even if you dodge away, you'll still get hit. Mm-hmm. So that was actually fairly difficult for me to get a grasp of where to dodge specifically, and then I got the electric webbing and stopped worrying.
I hate the demon guys with that thing that.
I think we're
what does it do? It blocks every time you shoot a web at him.
Yes,
he blocks them.
Yeah, well, and I will say this:
the whip guy.
That's where having some of those web gadgets comes in handy, like the web bombs and things like that. There's also like it's a skill that you acquire, like when you do a perfect dodge and it webs somebody, it automatically webs somebody in the head, and then you hit the triangle and you automatically just kick their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, that triangle move I recently discovered, and I love the triangle move where you zip towards them and punch them. I love that move.
That makes it so much better. But I will say that, and then on the bigger guys, one thing I've learned is once you get 2 focus bars, you can take out those big guys with a finisher. But it takes 2 focus bars to do it.
Zach was go ahead, Ashley.
I was going to say, Brad, if you like the triangle move, wait till you get the one where you can yank the weapon out of their hands and then beat them with it. That's my favorite.
I just upgraded that one. I haven't played that one. I don't even know the button combo, but
it's so much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
you can also pull shields off.
What, Jack?
The only thing I had trouble with, I stopped worrying about those things. But the only thing I had because I knew I could do the stealth challenges pretty well, but I wanted to get them all the way to ultimate to get the and there I had to do over the enemy placement was like particularly good, and it was hard to take down any one of after the first 3. It was hard to take down any one of them without someone else noticing.
Their internet's wigging out just a little bit.
You have to do it fast, or else you won't get the.
Oh, we've lost them. Nope, they're back. Oh, they're back.
I think we're.
Hold on by a string on Ashley and Jack. We can't. Their internet's kind of wigging out. We kind of alluded to it throughout the show, Zach. The marriage proposal is what you're talking about.
So I went to, and I'll list. We'll talk about the marriage proposal, and there's a few more Easter eggs I wanted to mention. But the marriage proposal was done. It's in the financial district. It's at the intersection of Canal Street and Church Street on the west side, where a movie theater marquee displays the words, "Maddie, will you marry me?"
Oh my God, yes.
And fortunately,
it's funny that we have a newlywed couple to talk about
so
this.
Sad.
Unfortunately, the guy was turned down like 2 weeks before the game.
So the deal is, he tweeted Insomniac and said, "Hey, I've been dating my girlfriend for 5 years. I would like to do a wedding or a marriage proposal. Can you do something?" Insomniac said, "Yeah, we can do something. We'll write, Maddie, will you marry me on a marquee of a theater." So the game comes out, and we find out from the dude she left him to go out with his brother.
Yeah, that's even worse. Like
the saddest wedding or marriage proposal ever. Let's go to the newlyweds for their thoughts. Go.
better than Ashley.
Ashley, Jack, what do you think of that marriage proposal?
Dodged.
Would that have been cool, Jack, to propose to Ashley in a video game?
Very tragic, but he definitely dodged
their
the
internet.
She was claiming that
this is auto-tune Ashley. We can't hear her. Can you guys hear her?
I can hear her. It's just
we can hear you, y'all.
Everybody, but okay, I'm kind of cutting out, but I can hear you guys. I just can't hear Ashley.
Okay, we'll give it to Ashley one more time. What, Jack? Would you ever propose to Ashley in a video game? Maybe it's bad luck. I don't know.
Okay, let's see if this is.
There you are.
There we go. You're good.
Okay, there we go. It was YouTube comments that was killing us.
Oh, okay. Damn you, YouTubers!
Definitely, yes. As Ashley said earlier, one of the things she said was, "This is
the girl he proposed to."
Yeah, one of the things that the woman who was proposed to had said was, "This isn't how I would want to be proposed to." And I'm like, "Are you serious?
Oh,
this is like so much just."
She is not the one, then, dude.
You got exactly. That's exactly what Ashley said. She said,
"Okay."
Ashley said, "Bullet dodged."
No doubt. He would have Insomniac would have to put a divorce papers in the next game. I mean, that would have not worked. Seriously.
Okay, so apparently
press triangle to sign divorce papers.
Press F to pay respects to marriage.
left, right, up, down, pay child support. Go ahead.
but according to Symbio Bro, apparently the story about the girlfriend leaving him for his brother, that part was apparently made up.
Oh, really?
That was apparently a lie that he made up. It turns out that she was the victim and he was just kind of an asshole. That's what Symbio Bro says.
Wow.
I'm sure there are many
apparently
sides
Symbio Bro says according to Symbio Bro, there's an update to the story.
That's crazy. I agree with Ashley. There are two sides to the coin, and that is Two-Face. That's a Batman reference.
I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Real quick, the last 2 points I want to do. The character design of the characters. Aunt May was a little bit different than we've ever seen her. The Peter Parker was a little bit different looking. Mary Jane had a hair thing going on with a leather coat. What do you think of the character designs of the characters in this game? Spider-Man had a white spider. What's your thoughts on that, everybody?
At first, I was a little wonky out.
I've had my say about.
Whoa. Go ahead, Zach. You start, then Neil take it over.
I'll let Neil go first. I've been going first all night.
Neil.
Oh no, you go first, Zach.
His internet is really delayed. Okay, Zach, you go first. I'll conduct the band. Okay.
All right. So I was kind of wonked out at Aunt May at first, but once I started playing the game, I was like, okay, it's not. I mean, here's the thing: a woman that old is not gonna. I mean, now granted, people my age are trying to make their hair silver for reasons, but yeah, I just. It didn't bother me over time because even like my grandmother does not let her hair go gray the way Aunt May just does. Yeah. So it makes it a little more realistic.
We should have had a side mission where Aunt May was playable.
She could make. I don't want to play with Aunt May.
Yeah. Well, what if it was Marissa Tomei?
That's the only Aunt May I'd want to play with. But anyway,
who is making that noise? Neil. All right, I'm ejecting Neil. Let's get him back in a second. I got to kill that audio. There we go.
Ooh.
Woo! He's having internet problems. Peter, what did you think of Mary Jane's redesign?
Well, to go back to my points, model by the name of Stephanie Tyler Jones was the face model of Mary Jane. Model by the name of John Bunneck was the face model of Peter Parker. I really don't have a problem with these the redesigns. They kind of look like the characters. What do you think
about the Peter Parker? Peter was just a smidge off for me, just a little bit.
Just a bit, and especially for the female characters, I noticed if they either had to be short-haired, or if they had long hair, they had to have ponytails.
Yeah.
So I was kind of, maybe that's like a game thing where they, too much hair flow is within the game, and that's
so I'd be perfect in a video game. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you would have been the character model base for
Wilson Fisk. I know. All right.
I could tell that they focused their efforts for the physics like pretty much entirely on the web swinging, and ain't nobody got time for hair physics if it's not the point. So they just use some cop-outs.
That's true story.
Yeah, true.
Yes, Neil, the call kicked you out. We kicked you out because it says he's not allowed to join.
Oh, okay.
You done kicked him out.
He was blaring us here. Let me invite him again. Hold on, because I don't want to.
I agree with Venkman where it says Doc Ock's design was a little bit off for me too.
But here's the thing: everybody's like, "What?" Everybody's like, "Why does he have a bald head?" He is actively dying, which is why his hair looked the way it did. It was supposed to insinuate that he was, and that's why he was trying to do everything. So
that's a whoops for the old Ashley. She didn't know that yet.
Oh, sorry.
Damn it! I'm sorry, Ashley. This is what happens when you get people that haven't finished the game on the call.
No cake for you, Zach.
Well,
dumpster.
I guess I'll get dumpster cake. But anyway, like I say, the everything was story driven.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciated about this game.
Yeah.
There was a few Easter eggs I wanted to mention. The symbiote suit apparently appears in if you look at a random person's window. There's some stuff on the desk, and there's an action figure of the black suit. You've got landmarks such as Alias Investigations and Fogwell's gym, where Murdoch's father became a boxer. Rand Corporation. There's a side mission called Spider-Man, which you have a fake Spider-Man.
That's funny.
But
that one was fun.
So my other thing to wrap it up is, what do you want in Insomniac Spider-Man 2? What do you want? Ashley, what do you want in the sequel?
Black Cat? Black Cat.
More Black Cat.
Look, they've referenced Sandman and they've referenced Swarm. I'd like to see those characters in the game.
Stegron?
No, F-Stick.
Whoa!
Sorry. Yes, you know what?
Dear George, he just said F-Stick.
Go ahead, send the text. Also, one fun fact: the bull in down the financial district is actually Lockjaw. They tried to get the bull so they could render it, but they couldn't get approval for the bull and the little girl that's in front of the bull, and so they decided to put Lockjaw in there instead. And also, the homecoming suit looks awesome in this game.
Peter, what do you want in the sequel?
I think they already hinted about the symbiote.
Yeah.
But I also saw the mid-credit scene where
Prodigal Son.
Welcome back, Neil.
They also hit it. You know when Miles is talking to Peter when they're moving into his new apartment.
I think we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I think that will happen, and also there's a little snippet where Peter says, "I don't know. It's kind of the way you ask her. I think MJ and Peter are going to like tie the knot." Which is
I don't think they'll tie the knot, but I think that they will be together in this game. I think, but yes, obviously I want to see Black Cat, but I'd like to see some more suits. I want to see Norman as the Green Goblin.
Yes,
I actually want to see some of the C-listers. Like we mentioned in the Crawl Space Discord that Boomerang would be a great addition, especially given Spencer's run.
Yes,
the Hypno Hustler.
No,
I agree with Neil. I want villains that we've never seen in a video game. I agree.
Like stuff like the Gibbon. That would be
the Grizzly.
Like stuff like that. Like
will they pull out their Grizzly Mobile?
Yeah, dude.
The Shocker Mobile.
How about what's the guy in the roller?
Override
Wheeler.
No.
Big Wheel.
Big Wheel. I want Big Wheel.
The only cool Big Wheel was the one.
Big Wheel.
Yeah.
Like remember the first issue of Superior where they pimped out the Big Wheel? Like that would be a great template for using that in the Spider-Man game.
Yeah. Oh, Venkman, Morbius. Morbius was in the Spider-Man 3 game.
He was also, there is a reference to Morbius in the Twitter feed, but it was like, it's a very obscure, and it was like when you meet Dr. Morgan Michaels in the story, his character page mentions it's hard to find info on him, and that might be Greek, that he might be Greek with an Americanized name. This is a reference to
funny. McNulty is in the YouTube chat. He says, what about the Hypno Hustler and having a Guitar Hero level? That's pretty good. I like that.
No.
Okay. I
like that.
I'm going to say this because this is a personal favorite of mine. Spot.
Yeah,
Spot would be fun.
Real quick to wrap it up. Jack, what do you want in the sequel?
2 things. Oh crap! I can't remember what the 2 things. Darn it!
2 things, but you can't name one.
Hey, we got both of them.
Jack, you're becoming Brad.
From his wife.
No, it wasn't a villain. Something else. Well, one of them, even though he's been in a game with before, would be the Great Mysterio.
Yeah, he was
especially with the hallucination levels already in there. I'm like, oh man, I feel like the poison thing was just like them wanting to do Mysterio, but being like, we actually can't yet, so we'll just do this.
Kraven the Hunter. I know we had him in Shattered Dimensions, but I wouldn't mind a Kraven the Hunter story.
I don't want in the sequel a symbiote like everything is symbiote. We've had that before.
Yes.
Web of Shadows.
Web of Shadows. And I liked Web of Shadows. But
except for the voice actor of Spider-Man. I still hate that voice actor.
Me too.
I liked that all the villains had a little bit to do. Ock wasn't the main villain. Norman wasn't the main villain. They all kind of shared it. Mr. Negative kind of was the main villain. But
they made Mr. Negative compelling, which is a freaking amazing feat for me.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I remember what the other thing was. It was just playable Miles. That was it.
Playable in a suit or something.
Yeah, as with spider powers, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts. Let's wrap it up. Peter, final thoughts. What's your thoughts on this game, man? Was it $60 well spent?
Yeah. Well, I didn't pay $60 for it, but I'm glad I did get it.
Was it well worth stealing it out of a Best Buy truck?
Yes, it was.
And how tall are you, Peter? So we don't.
I want to say maybe. What's your height, Zach?
By the way, Peter, you were going to go to Best Buy.
I was
dressed in a spider suit with a Mary Jane cosplayer. What happened?
Yes, it was going to happen, and then my friend Jamie, there was an emergency. She had to go take care of her dog, and we were still trying to figure out how to work that in. And on top of that, it was raining. We had a lot of rain coming down, and also on top of that, Best Buy was having an audit done, which means their auditor came by and wants to make sure things are going by the book. So
sounds like the old Parker luck.
Yeah, exactly. It was that, and I'm like, okay.
So that manager of Best Buy was having a bad day. It was raining outside. A guy in a suit wants to come in and buy a game, and he's getting audited. I think he's having a bad day.
That's Parker luck.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Final thoughts? Any other final thoughts, Peter?
No.
No? Neil, final thoughts?
Good game. I will not try and deny that it is a bad. I will not try and say that it's a bad game by any stretch because it's worth the $60, but I think we kind of overhyped it going into it. You mentioned like what would you like to see in the sequel? I think we should probably wait until the DLC cycle is over and the game's lifespan is finished before we start talking about a sequel at all.
Is all the DLC Black Cat related?
No, there's one that's the first one is Black Cat. The second one is rumored to be Silver Sable, and then the third one is looking to be Gang War related. So that might be Mr. Negative's return.
And I think they're going to do one more add-in. I think I saw somewhere online where they were going to do one more like side mission storyline, but they haven't addressed that yet.
But
having played through most of the story, Silver Sable returning is not out of the cards.
Yeah, but as I mentioned before, I'd like to see the game's life cycle finished because, for all we know, the DLC could be utterly wretched and not have any effort put into it.
That would suck.
It would. I don't think it will, but it has a potential to because there are some games who have had amazing launches, but the DLC has been god-awful.
That sucks. Hornacek says in the Gang War DLC, I hope that they have Daredevil in a Kingpin fat suit. Very nice.
I hope they have Captain America eat his shield.
I would like to see more Kingpin being a focus in getting out on a technicality and Peter having to struggle against the Kingpin.
Now as I'm a slow gamer. This is the fastest I've ever beaten a video game ever. I haven't beat it yet, but after I get off with you people, it's going down. But I've never bought DLC before for a video game. So I don't know if like Neil was saying, if the trend of DLC is generally bad just to get another $20 out of me.
Okay. Does anyone mind if I take?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Is DLC generally bad?
Generally not. Usually, if it's not gameplay, if it's not like additional story missions, and it's like just skins and stuff like that, then usually I'm okay with that.
Okay.
This is an odd choice because the only video games that I see with paid DLC, most games have shifted to either a season pass, which I think comes in the deluxe edition of this game, or
we're plopping down $80 for this game, aren't we?
Or expansions for games like Destiny, where they just dump all the content at once rather than a seasons pack, rather than like seasons like where they save like the microtransactions make up the cost of making the DLC. Most AAA titles have shifted to that model of game selling where they create the DLC at a loss but use the microtransactions to make up for it.
Oh.
So,
which I appreciate them not doing.
And for those listening, because I kind of know what you're talking about, microtransactions are like Star Wars had, which I didn't play, but you have to pay to like get a better spider suit or something, right?
Well, the problem with this is kind of off topic, but it relates to this. The problem with Battlefront 2's microtransactions was that the things that you were paying real life money for were directly integrated into the gameplay of the multiplayer.
Okay.
So if you're paying for like suits that give you like massive bonuses with real world money, and not getting really anything out of not anything but those like little bonuses, then that's where the problem starts leaking in. And also because it's technically gambling online. And that's why the government, that's why I think the Belgian government stepped in on Battlefront 2 was because of the fact that it's potentially online gambling.
That's another thing I didn't notice. There's no online play with this, is there?
No.
That's unique, isn't it?
For especially a game, well, not necessarily. I mean,
it's not unique, but it's definitely not as common as it used to be. Before before internet was kind of a required thing to function in society. Mm-hmm. But now that the internet has become so interconnected with each other that internet is a necessity to function in daily life, they've become more and more. Stop waving your toys, Zach. You're not Brad.
Especially a game with this budget, having being purely single player. The last time we saw that was with like God of War,
which is a phenomenal game.
By the way, I that was the game I was playing before this one. I'm halfway done with that game too. I'm lost though. Anyway,
you're always lost. That's your default setting.
So I gave Neil final thoughts. Anything else you want to say, Neil?
I would recommend buying. It's worth the $60.
Yeah.
Wait until other people have played the DLC before buying it yourself.
I'm buying it.
Somebody.
Zach, did you have a final thought?
I do have some final thoughts.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody asked early on and I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Iconic Shock.
In YouTube chat?
In YouTube chat, is this worth plopping money down for PS4? And I will say, if you didn't have a PS4 and you like Spider-Man, it is completely worth investing in the PlayStation 4, especially because you get, to me, it's just been a superior gaming experience from everybody that I've talked to with Xbox Ones. Everybody's like, oh, I like Xbox One. I'm like, honestly, it's a entertainment system trying to be a video game system, whereas at least with a PlayStation 4, it's a video game system that is a video game system that happens to do some things like your Netflix and stuff like that.
Years ago, I bought a PlayStation 2 just to play the Spider-Man 1 game in 2002. That's the only reason I bought a PlayStation 2. And they've hooked me since. And if you buy a PlayStation, because I've had a PlayStation 2, 3, and 4, some of the best games on the 4, I think, are the Uncharted series.
Really?
I love. You don't like those, Ashley, or Zach?
I said seconded.
No.
Seconded. Okay, got it.
I think that the PS4 definitely has the best exclusives in the consoles.
Also, God of War is a great game. I enjoy that one a lot too.
I would add, as someone who did get the PS4 just for Spider-Man, well, albeit we didn't pay for it ourselves, it was a gift. I would say it's been totally worth it. Even if there weren't other titles that would gotten to play for the PS4, I would have absolutely done it for Spider-Man. And I've done it before. Like, I got the Xbox One just for Halo 5, so I'm no stranger to solo titling a console.
Have you played the other Uncharted, Ashley?
All of them, yes. We actually just got to play Uncharted 4. Oh my god.
You just started that one, or you finished it?
Recently I finished it.
Oh, that is one of the best endings of a game.
Oh my god, I almost cried because that
awesome ending.
I started playing Uncharted in college, and so it was like, oh, so much closure. But no.
But I want him to come back and make a 5, though. I don't want him to be done.
Yeah. I'll also say this.
Yeah.
Spider Cop was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was funny.
I wanted to, when we started, I was going to be like, everyone do their best Spider Cop introduction.
Spider Cop. The mean streets of a virtual New York City.
Half man, half spider. All cop.
You know, and one last thing, Brad.
I got one. Spider Cop. Some cops eat donuts. I eat fruit pies.
There was a fruit pies reference in the game.
Where? I haven't heard it.
What?
I'm almost positive. Like there was I think it's during the demons deal. Like I think in one of the places he comes in, he's like, Maybe if I give you some fruit pies, would you guys like stop attacking me?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny! I love it.
So, but I'm telling you, I'm wondering if somebody from Insomniac listens to this show.
Oh, I hope so.
They read Dark Mark's comics.
By the way, here I'll announce that after we get the final thoughts out of everybody. But go ahead, Zach. Any other final thoughts?
I want to address one thing because there's been some negative reviews about this game. About like Spider-Man promoting the police state is the most asinine thing I've ever read in my life. And as a Spider-Man fan, I was blatantly like appalled that you're literally grasping at straws to come up with negativity for this game, because this game is so good that you literally have to come up with bull crap just to make a negative review. And
also people were complaining about the gay pride flags around New York City. I saw some negative things about that,
which is stupid because where they're located, that is real world.
Yeah, I think that's nitpicking.
Wait, we're talking about the Pride Parade and then the police state? That's just the problem with that's just a problem within games journalism as a whole, is that they take their real world views and apply it to a video game.
Yeah, I agree.
Which there was a reason. There was a reason that it was an in-game reason. And did you not see the corrupt cops at the beginning of the game? Idiots. Anyway,
McNulty, thanks you, Zach, for saying that.
that was the most asinine thing I've ever seen. So, also, by the way, that's what Tri-Town Spidey was referencing earlier with the Devil Spider.
Final thoughts out of the Newlyweds. Ashley, what would you like to say?
It's funny that you mentioned the Newlyweds, because I was gonna say, originally when this game was gonna come out, I was really looking forward to putting together like some Let's Play videos for it, and because I know we didn't really have anything set up for that already except for Facebook Live, and so I wanted to set up a Twitch account and everything and see what we could get going with that. But it was also a week before the wedding, so. Actually had some other priorities.
No doubt.
And then I got 60% of the way through the game, and I'm not really about to replay it at any point soon. But what I wanted to do is, once the Black Cat DLC comes out, I think I'm going to try and set up a stream for it and play through it and record it. So hopefully we can look forward to that.
So you can play it and you can export the video?
I'll
isn't that what you just said? You said you're going to play it and
Jack and I have some ideas, so we'll see what we can do.
Well, I mean, Brad, I think they're because they're admin, or she's an admin on the Facebook page. I think she could stream it live to Facebook too.
Yeah, feel free. That'd be awesome.
Probably. And also how my phone is still stuck to commenting as an admin, so sometimes you'll see some weird comments come through as Crawlspace admin. I don't know who's
someone was sharing a whole bunch of wedding designs on the Crawlspace Facebook page. I'm just kidding.
We're branching out. We're branching out. Come on, man. We're expanding.
No doubt. All right. Anything else you want to say, Ashley?
What was the big announcement you wanted to make, Brad?
No, I still got Jack. I want to hear Jack's final thoughts.
Final thoughts on the game. It's just fine.
Brad's job.
It's been really great finding a game that I can get really sucked into, because I have a very obsessive personality type. So when it comes to games and collectibles like these, I really hone in on those. And so if the game's not really good, I can get very drained. But since this is such a good game that puts so much thought into everything, it makes it feel like that's time well spent. And so I'm really relieved for that what could be a really draining experience is, turned out to be a really enjoyable one.
Awesome.
Jack, it's everything I'd want in a game, except more Black Hat.
Jack, final thoughts.
All right, my final thoughts. This was an extremely enjoyable game. And I just have to commend the voice acting so much, especially the final climactic scene, the entire last fight and final scenes with Otto and the final scenes of the game. Up until that moment where Peter and Otto have their final confrontation, that game was an 8. After that, 11. There was just so much raw emotion, I couldn't believe it.
I have a lot that happens after I beat Ock, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you've got a lot to experience.
Yeah, and I spoiled some of it for you, buddy. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, I was going to make a fun announcement. For how many months? What was that first email I sent? I have been talking to Insomniac since May 7th, 2008. And they
18 or 8?
May 7th, 2018.
You said 2008, Brad, so I was like, what?
He predicted the game!
Before they were a company, I was talking to them. No, I've been talking to Insomniac for several months, trying to do a podcast interview. And they have agreed. They have agreed to do an interview. I've got 2 of the designers that said that they will come on after it launched. So we're about 2 weeks out from the game coming out. And I'm going to read you a quote from a latest email.
I do want to clarify, Brad. Yeah. Brad, are these the actual designers and developers? Or I think I remember the last email you posted, it was like the community specialist and someone on the marketing team. So
yeah.
Those guys?
I'm not sure who. Yes, 2 people from Insomniac that worked on the game have agreed. They're in charge of their press and etc. So
gotcha.
They have agreed to be on the game and talk about it. I think they're the ones going around doing press for it. So they've agreed to do it. Basically, they have said that they have been busy promoting this game for a whole month of August and September, etc. But they said post-launch, which is right about now, they've agreed that they'll come on. They said, the last email I have is, quote, "Thanks, Brad. Promise we'll make something happen post-launch." So that is a direct quote from the latest email. So a future podcast will have the Insomniac guys on talking about this game. So I would think that would be awesome.
If I could chime in on that, I just received a message from the PR person for Stephanie Tyler Jones, the face of MJ.
Yeah, this just in.
She'll respond with an answer for me tomorrow for that.
Oh, wow.
That to you.
Nice.
So we can talk about what it was like to have all the
dots on your face. Yeah.
The dots on your face. That's so funny. All right. Well, YouTubers, thank you. We've had a steady stream of people watching and interacting with us on YouTube. I appreciate that. This is a long episode, not quite 20 hours long, which is how long the game takes to complete. But
that grind, that beautiful grind.
No doubt. I don't think we've ever done a whole podcast devoted to a video game before, so that's kind of fun.
Well, to be fair, there wasn't really much material to cover on a podcast for the past few Spider-Man games.
Well, the Amazing Spider-Man games, yeah, we haven't. All right, well, go ahead, Ashley.
I was maybe Shattered Dimensions or something.
And like the PS1 N64 game actually had a workable story, original story.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Okay, I'm going to hit stop.